You duh. Yeah. You duh. You down with A.I.P? Yeah, you know me. Anything is possible to create. The key on the mic, I'm the truth, no fantasy. Podcast flow, old school vibe guaranteed. A.I.P, every listener knows. Breaking barriers, smashing the foes. Convos deeper than a philosopher's prose. We planting seeds, watch how it grows. Jumped on the beat like a classic cassette. Late night talk, the vibe you won't forget. Dropping wisdom gems, the grind is set. Every story told, ain't no limits met. You open the mind, the world opens wide. On this podcast, real thoughts collide. From the cooks in the kitchen to the suits we chide. Dreams get bigger when the truth's applied. Sip on success like it's poured in a mug. Real talk, no BS, no need for a shrug. In your ear like an anthem, snug as a hug. Tune in, feel the buzz, plug after plug. A.I.P, every listener knows. Breaking barriers, smashing the foes. Convos deeper than a philosopher's prose. We planting seeds, watch how it grows. A.I.P, every listener knows. Breaking barriers, smashing the foes. Convos deeper than the philosopher's prose. We planting seeds, watch how it grows. 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 Rare. Deep in the swamp where the secrets lay thick. Whispers in the shadows, they hit like a brick. Talking with the moon, got the stars in a twist. Truth or illusion, the facts get dismissed. Talking with conspiracy, whispers in the air. Truth in the trenches, but who really care? From the dirty south where the legends get made. Stories in the dark, watch the shadows parade. Slick tongues spin tales like a spider on a thread. Hood prophets preach knowledge while the streets stay fed. Voices echo deep where the rivers don't flow. Lost truths buried under where the cold winds blow. Heavy bass thump, got the block hypnotized. Mysteries unfold under blood red skies. Voices in the static, they creep through the scene. Street sermons spill truths, but they cut like a guillotine. Talking with conspiracy, whispers in the air. Truth in the trenches, but who really care? From the dirty south where the legends get made. Stories in the dark, watch the shadows parade.
All you ever hear about in this country is our differences. It's all they ever talk about. Politicians and the media always pushing the things that separate us, things that make us different. That's the way the ruling class operates in any society. They divide the rest of the people. They keep the lower and the middle classes fighting with each other so that they, the rich, can run off with all the fucking money. Fairly simple thing. Fairly simple thing happens to work. Anything that's different about us, you know that's what they're pushing at you. Racial differences, religious, ethnic, national backgrounds, jobs, income, education, social status, sexuality, anything they can do to keep us fighting with each other so that they can keep going to the bank.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club.
Keep it home, baby.
Welcome everybody back to the A.I.P channel and Talking with Conspiracy. Tonight we're going to have a fun show. We got Jamie and we got Ray of the Raydical Truth here to entertain you. For and we got a shadow here.
A nice piece of ass in your lap.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Thank you.
So yeah, I think should have a fun one tonight. If you don't like profanity, I don't know. You won't be able to hear Jamie or Ray tonight, so you'll have to meet both of them.
No habla español.
Yeah.
Might as well just mute me now.
Nah, I can't do that. Can't do that.
It's gonna be fun. lots of fun stuff to talk about. And of course, at the end, we got the feel good videos, and so if you can stick around all the way to the end, for sure, we got the cats and who knows else what I found.
Cats in the cradle in the seal. Okay, I'm sorry.
For sure, for sure. But real quick, while we get started, Ray, would you like to introduce yourself to our audience and tell where you are and little tidbits about yourself, if you don't mind?
Yeah, sure. I'll be quick. My name's Ray. I'm the host of the Raydical Truth podcast. Strictly on Spotify because I'm still a corporate slave. But I talk all things conspiracy, everything from aliens, ghosts, government conspiracy theories. Lately, it's mostly been about all the political bullshit, because the conspiracy theories now are just turning into truth. So Ricky was actually on the podcast, and we did a lot of talking about that. So kudos to you. Thank you so much for doing it. And that's me. So thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, no problem. No
Ricky,
problem.
remember when we wanted to just talk about UFOs and Bigfoot?
We tried to start things off, and it's just the world itself just went crazier and crazier, and we've said it 100 times now. I mean, well, this is number 71, so we've said it at least 71 times. Like we want to talk about Bigfoots and Yetis, but man, there's so much crazy stuff in the world and politics, and just it's one of them things where they say if you don't take an interest in politics, politics will take an interest in you, and so we got to make sure you get some stuff out, but we can still have fun while we're doing it and raise a little hell and say a whole bunch of crazy stuff. So, like Jamaica, look at them. Them poor people in Jamaica right now just got leveled.
Have you seen the video footage of that shit today? Have you seen any of it?
It's gone.
Let me check.
Yeah, it's terrible. All the roads, I think 80-90% of the power is gone. And the interesting thing, I seen a video on it. Maybe was interesting was did you know? I like my did you know stuff. Did you know that Jamaica was on board for part of that smart city stuff for 2030?
Absolutely.
Imagine that, another area that got devastated and leveled to the ground is a smart city area.
I mean,
It's just a quinkadink. That's all. Quinkadinks.
nobody looks at Jamaica and goes, shit, their infrastructure is great. They're not going to have any problems when a hurricane comes through. But yeah, I heard about the smart city there. I mean, it was kind of a domino effect. They're fucked as far as infrastructure. And then two, it's another smart city. So we'll see, government control there in about 2 years.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, and yeah, I mean, but they, so many people are talking. You've looking online at how there's like no way naturally that hurricane should have been that big and that massive and that just pinpointed right through there. It was, weather manipulation. Maybe. They pretty much coming out on it. I even got a video where talking about it. Cloud seeding in like Nevada and stuff like that, Arizona.
I mean, isn't cloud seeding the same thing as chemtrails? Isn't it 6 in one, half a dozen in another? Isn't that the same damn thing?
It's like UFOs and UAPs. I think it's a better terminology. So that's it. I mean, they're absolutely.
We can verify that we are clouding the seeds, but that's all we're doing. I promise. That's all we're doing.
The fact that no one's being held accountable for Texas and no one's talking about the Texas floods when they admitted cloud seeding 2 days before that giant flood is mind-boggling to me. Right. That no one's talking about it anymore. It's just like the news cycle just passes right on and it's done.
Oh, this is not here. Let me play this video real quick. It's even got a reader's added context here, so that's gonna be fun. We'll let everybody see and read. On the cloud seeding in Utah. I'm sorry, I was wrong state, and then down here on the little reader's added context, Utah has been cloud seeding since the 50s. Only when it's snowing. Clouding Seeding Act of 1973 gave authority to the UDWR to oversee state cloud seeding projects. Huh. Yeah. Imagine that.
Thanks to a massive infusion of cash and some new technologies, the state now operates the world's largest remote-controlled cloud seeding program.
We're off to a great start this water year. Hopefully it's not a repeat of last year's pattern.
The group that oversees Utah's water resources got some good news when it comes to cloud seeding. That's pumping silver iodide into the atmosphere to squeeze a little more precipitation out of a storm.
The statewide average is 10.4% increase in snowpack.
To help in Utah's drought and the crisis facing the Great Salt Lake and the Colorado River, Utah jumped into cloud seeding in a big way. The legislature upped the budget from $200,000 a few years ago to nearly $16 million. That allowed the state to invest in remote-controlled generators.
When it improves the efficiency, they can be turned on and off quicker, and it also improves the effectiveness because they can be placed at higher elevations, above temperature inversions, for example.
The state is also purchasing new drones to do cloud seeding. That helps in areas like the La Salle Mountains in southeastern Utah, where they found ground generators don't work as well because of climate patterns in that region.
I think it's really exciting that we're leading the world.
Dana Van Horn, who represents southeastern Utah communities on the board, says it could help.
If we can increase the snowpack in the La Salle Mountains, I think that it'll directly impact the Colorado River flow.
In fact, lower Colorado River Basin states are now paying Utah to do cloud seeding because it benefits them.
They recognize that the water supply for the Colorado is in our mountains.
Idaho has also started kicking in money to help the Bear River and the Great Salt Lake. The state is also partnering with academic institutions for research on cloud seeding. Silver iodide is found to be safe.
Cloud seeding is a part of a silver buckshot method. There are no silver bullets as it relates to solving our Western water issues.
But environmentalists caution that cloud seeding is just one tool to help.
You know, I think the best thing that we could be doing is just reducing our use all over the place, but that's painful. This is a somewhat expensive way to mitigate that pain.
The intent of cloud seeding is to increase the amount of snowpack, even if it's a small amount.
The state plans to roll out more of those cloud seeding drones in the coming months. In West Jordan, Ben Winslow, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Jesus Christ.
So I have a problem with the dude and the way that he was, speaking, I mean, kind of that, do I really know what's going on here? Like, I totally trust this guy with everything.
Nothing to worry about, for sure. Absolutely.
I literally looked at him and I was like, that guy gives me the "I fuck me" from like Silence of the Lambs vibes. And the girl's name that was excited, if you noticed, her name was Dana Von Horn. And for me, I'm like, the devil horns. Like, I caught that shit. I'm like, of course that's your name, bitch. It makes, like, it's wild that no one is trying to stop this. Like, it's just normal.
Everything is fine. Don't panic. Good God Almighty.
Absolutely. And it's, like I said, a lot of people were like, well, no, conspiracy theories, chemtrails, which a lot of them, kind of disappeared lately since the government shut down. We've had the rate of them is lower magically. I don't know how, but amazingly. But it's real. There's no doubt that they've been doing it. We got the declassified projects from, and actually, they have things all the way back into the 1800s where they're trying to mess with the weather and manipulate it, with patents all the way back to 1870s, 1890s, something like that. So we've been doing it a long time. And Project Cirrus was the one that actually turned a hurricane and went straight through Georgia and killed a bunch of people and stuff. So,
Well, look at last year. There was a Hurricane Milton and Helene in Florida, and it decimated North Carolina. And they were still cleaning up the North Carolina during the election, and there was no news coverage of it. They were talking about, it started in the Gulf of America, or Gulf of Mexico, whatever you want to call it. And it's impossible for them to build that big unless it's modified.
Yeah, something, and it showed that it was watching it, just the way it was turning and moving so easily. It was there's no way. And like this recent hurricane that just hit Jamaica, which I got a video on that. It's kind of a long video, but we can watch part of it. It's kind of people to see some of the wreckage, and these poor people, you know, and if it's and it's going to be sad, which it doesn't surprise me because to the elites, we're just little pawns of whatever we want to do, just get rid of us or whatever. It's no big deal. But these people lost their lives, they lost their homes, everything they ever had, and and if that's what it is, for them to drop a smart city where in the rubble of these poor people's lives, it's going to be pretty fucked up, really. But
they're here to help, Ricky.
They are. They're here to help us. Just like Uncle Bill. Uncle Bill Gates is here to help us. He's going to donate his money to, help.
He's like the shit that won't flush. That guy will not go away. Everything that he does, no one questions. Prove the science during COVID. He's not a medical doctor. He was pushing the vaccine. He owns 48% of the farmland now, along with Chinese owning the other percent, because now most of the farmland is owned by people that are in their 60s and above, and their kids don't want to inherit it, so he's killing all of us. That is crazy. Sorry, I hate him. I can get on a
Can't tell. We couldn't tell a bit.
Such a typical woman. I'm like on a tangent.
Handle it. Do your, just let it all out there.
Yeah, this is a therapy. This is also therapy for here. Let you out your feelings. Yeah, brother Willie said nobody ever asked him. And they're doing a lot of things that nobody's ever asked, and they turn around and well, we need to darken the sun. What?
What? Why?
And I seen a thing that I meant to save it, and I forgot to. But Neil deGrasse, that asshole, he turned around, but he was talking about it. And he was like, well, you can take, glass of ice, water, and then you put ice in it and brings the water level up. But if you let the ice melt, the water level stays the same. So you could do that experiment like that. So you're telling me that we're worried about icebergs melting and raising the water level, but it won't do it because you just said it for this experiment right here. It actually showed that he kind of blabbed at it, all the crap that they've been saying, and now the ice levels are going up. It's right. It's just so much hypocrisy with them saying anything, just wanting stuff. But yeah, here's these poor people. Just absolute devastation. Nothing. See videos of that eye before it hit was just massive.
Where's the flooding? I see all the devastation. I don't see the flooding.
Yeah,
could be a little higher elevation.
Yeah, maybe so. Algo, you need to put that in an AI song. You could change the words and we can play it on the next show. If you look in the Rumble chat, you'll see what I'm talking about there. We can make a song. But not to take light of the poor people that's lost their lives and lost their livelihoods and stuff like that. It's, but truly, every time you look into an area that has a smart city where they want to come, and it's one of them things where you have a smart city, and you already got all this infrastructure there, what are you going to do? You got to get rid of a bunch of stuff to make room for all this progress they want to do. how better way than just natural disasters to use them? Like, oh look, we had this happen.
Well, it's perfect timing
There's
for
some flooding there. There's your
the
flooding.
ID too, digital ID. You know, if you have a giant natural disaster, everyone's displaced, then you can push for all in the name of safety. Let's do the digital ID. This is where we can find you. This is where we can get you your money, food rations, all of that shit. So that's all in the name of safety.
Oh yeah, it'd be an easier way to push it through. You know, we already got 30 nations that's on board with that shit.
What, you mean it's not a good idea?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
There's some more to flooding. Yeah.
They're here to help, bro. Listen.
They are here to help. They have our best interest in hand.
I don't know, man. That Bill Gates, he kind of freaks me out a little
this
bit.
Video we're getting kicked off YouTube by the end of the day on this one. Of course, as always, we.
That's why I'm not on YouTube.
We are for your entertainment purposes only. We are just
Somebody's
comedians.
gonna be upset.
Yeah, we are comedians. We're just joking. Ha
ha. Ho ho hoo hoo.
So don't take none of this serious, you know. But if you don't see us on YouTube next week, we will be on Rumble.
It's sad we have to say that every single freaking week.
We do. We say it every week. But yeah, this Dawn, that's Jamaica right now. Yeah, it's sad though. Like it's really sad that they're what has happened there. So you know, prayers for those poor people for sure. Because
well, the fact that people want to talk about say climate change for this, I'm like, first of all, look at Greta Thunberg. They thought she was a cute little thing before. Now she looks like Lord Farquaad from Shrek. And she promised 10 years ago that we would be underwater. They're now pushing her to Palestine. Yeah. So yeah, I think this all started with Katrina, and now it's just more visible. And they're saying it's in climate change when it's all being modified.
yeah, she's just alcohol, you know, syndrome where her mama drank a lot when she was pregnant with her. And you know, and she's not even climate change no more. She's free Palestine, jumping up and down and acting a damn fool. You know, it's.
I feel bad
seen one
for
that's
her.
acting like is she you know, is she just a shrill? Is she just getting paid for this, or is she retarded? And maybe she's both. I don't know.
Man, you know, people in
Jamie's going to say the hard R word in a second, so I just had to beat him to it today.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. You know, I think a lot of influencers today look for the next big thing to grasp a hold of. And I almost think that she's just a professional influencer. And when you realize that, look, man, people that are on the other side of the aisle from us politically, whether you want to call them liberals, whether you want to call them Democrats, whatever they are, there's a whole pool of people that are severely medicated that are looking for whatever hope they can grasp onto. And there are these influencers that take advantage of these people's mental state. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. I almost feel like she's just no different than your money scamming preacher out there that's just there to say you doom and gloom, you know what I mean, in the effort to sell his message, you know what I mean?
I did an episode about her, and her parents actually, her dad was a speechwriter for the Democratic Party. Her mom was some kind of singer or dancer and way liberal, involved in like everything with government. So they basically like pimped out their daughter and started having her do speeches when she was young and just scripted her for everything.
Hey, maybe she's truly been fucking brain damaged to the point, you know, that she is retarded. You're like, maybe that's where we've
redundant.
Maybe that's where we've gotten to, that, you know, she just doesn't fucking know any better because they've instilled that. Look, come on, man. Let's look at the way some of these parents are with their transgender children. Okay. These kids only know what they've been taught. and how they've literally been brainwashed. So what's to say that she's not any different than some other poor kid that's been brainwashed? Maybe we should feel sorry for her. Like truly, maybe we should, feel sorry for her. But I don't. I don't.
I stopped giving a fuck about liberals and their feelings, especially. I mean, I've never really given a shit, but when they started mimicking and dressing up as Charlie Kirk for Halloween this year, I was done. I was absolutely done.
Yeah, some people are truly disgusted. There's a guy that got the hell beat out of him the other night by some chick. Apparently, he dressed up in a Nazi uniform. You may have seen this video going around, and apparently he ends up decking the one chick after she's been assaulting him for like 5 minutes straight. But here's the crazy thing about it: you can go out and dress up as a serial killer that beheaded people, and people are like, "Oh, haha, look, you're Jeffrey Dahmer." But if you go out and dress up as Hitler, people lose their fucking mind. Nobody says anything about Genghis Khan, and he killed like fucking hordes of people. But they're so brainwashed and programmed that I have to freak out right now.
That's because that's what we were taught in schools and everything, because of all of it, and now we got influencers and stuff are getting paid $7,000 every time they post or anything. And I even got I think I saved that video. I should have saved that video. I'm sure I got it somewhere where this girl went off. I was like, yeah, I should. Why can't I get paid to blah blah blah? Support that certain nation, but I'm sorry. Excuse me. But yeah, it was. You're. We're going out with a bang, by God. We're gonna get kicked. We're gonna get kicked good. But it's, you have this kind of, for sure, just been inbred into this stuff through school. And I mean, I remember when I was in school, you were what you were taught. You're talking about the 6 million. You're talking about this. You're taught, guaranteed, and it was taught to you that was like the biggest atrocity in the history of man. And then we really find out later, like in China, it was 20 million people. There's so many people that killed so many more people. But it's and it's like right now there's people getting killed right now, and they're not even just talking about it on the news right now. You got them Christians out in Africa, they're getting slaughtered.
70,000.
And it's nobody's talking about them. Bill Maher said something of any damn body, and I seen something on Fox News actually bring up a little small 5-second thing on it the other day, on a clip. But most people aren't talking about the people getting 70,000 people getting killed down there. If you want to do the numbers, supposedly in Gaza and the Palestinians had about 55,000 people supposedly killed. So that's more than they are. But because of who is influenced and who is attached to it and everything, that's why they're pushing this here. It don't feed into it, of what the narrative is. It makes a certain group of people look bad, and that's not what the global plan for any of that, I guess. Because you see through Europe, if you talk bad anything about the Muslims or anything like that, you're in trouble. And they can attack you or rape your children or whatever, and you strike back. And our poor brothers and sisters in Europe right now are getting, they're about to crack. Though I think they're about to. It's about to get ugly over there. I think before the end of the year, they're going. It's war coming. They're going to the streets and they're going to start tearing some shit up.
Yeah, Europe right now with all the Muslims, like that is, it's amazing seeing. I know people are probably going to be bitching about me being right wing, but the liberals being over there and like loving everything about do better to me, do better, Ray. Don't talk about Muslims, when in actuality it's like. And they're talking about gays for Palestine and all that shit. I'm like, they'll kill you over there. Why are we? You know what I mean?
They will. Right? They don't understand. And here's you want to really fuck one of them up in their head, right? Show up to one of these from the river to the sea rallies in a Nazi uniform, okay? Because they're advocating for the same fucking thing, but then they want to talk about this whole I hate Nazi thing, but they're literally advocating for the exact same thing.
It's virtue signaling. That's not what the whole thing is. It's just virtue signal, virtue signal, virtue signal.
Yeah,
Go
that's
ahead,
it.
Sammy.
That's
Right,
it.
right front.
Yeah.
You're fine. Go ahead. Just go. Just go. Sorry, my
Whitney just
neighbor
wants to be in the
showed up with
camera. That's
food.
all. Whitney's trying to come in. Well, she got her crown, walking around, riding around the house with her
Thank you,
crown
buddy. I
on.
appreciate you, man.
I didn't
My
see a
neighbor just
picture of
showed up.
Whitney until the episode. And I was like, Whitney's hot. Good work, Jamie.
Hell yeah, man. She's awesome. She literally has my arm hurting so bad from training jiu-jitsu with her. Like, she doesn't know that I let her do shit, so I'll give her my arm so she can key lock it, and then she'll grab that motherfucker like a pit bull and just be like, "Arr!" And I'm like, ow.
And Jamie's like, I'm even more crippled now. Look at this. Look.
Thank you for that. Add to the pimp limp. Now I got a lame arm.
Well, just make sure you give her your non-shooting hand. That way, if he tears up that one, at least you'll have your good shooting hand. Like,
I shoot with my handgun with my right, and my rifle is with my left. So all I got to do is trigger. We're good.
I'm the same way.
We're
I'm the
good.
same. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't understand it. People are like, you shoot weird. I'm like, well, it's fucking right to me. Pistol right hand, rifle left hand, shotgun right hand.
I'm a left-hand rider. But like I play golf right-handed. I play tennis left, and I shoot with my pistol, my Glock. It's always my right hand. But when I have my AR, it's always my left. So everyone thinks.
Do you have a left-handed AR?
No, but I make it left-handed.
Yeah, I shoot myself in the face with brass regularly. It's always skimming across here. Yeah,
my chest always looks like I was like in a college party because I'm just hot ammo in my chest because when I shoot away.
Oh, good.
On that
Ricky.
note.
I mean, I'm
ADD
trying to
in
figure
all
out what
places.
kind of college party you were at that, like what the fuck is going on here, and why did I not get any invitations to these kind of college parties? When were we shooting guns? And
Florida, he's
Florida.
Florida man, Florida girl.
Florida, yeah, that's it. You just say Florida, and then everybody's like, oh, okay.
Got it.
We've seen the videos of Florida and people riding around alligators and pet alligators and all
Hey
kinds
man,
of
it used to
shit
be
down
a
there.
game. Google Florida man.
You know what though? I found out why because I was like, I've lived in California now for 25 years, and I see way wilder shit out here. And the reason Florida, I'm not saying tragic shit doesn't happen out there, but the reason Florida looks so terrible the rest of the country is they release all their police records, everything, like immediately, no matter how small. So you see everything. Now we got some hillbilly shit going out there with a lot of stuff like the gators, but in California, I mean, with the homeless alone and what I see on a day-to-day, and I live in a nice neighborhood, it's insane. I'm like, when my husband, who's a hardcore Democrat, I always told Ricky I like to hate fuck him because I'm a Republican, and he's like, it's not that bad out here. I'm like, are you kidding me? Because he's so used to the lifestyle out here. We're paying $2 million for a home, and you have a homeless person shitting outside. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's welcome to Memphis. Welcome to Memphis.
Yeah, that's crazy on a whole nother
when
level.
I moved to Memphis, I moved to Memphis in 2013, I believe. And 38103 downtown Memphis was the safest zip code in the state of Tennessee. I move in on a Sunday. On a Tuesday at 1 a.m. in the morning, I get home from work and I get met by the news crew on my front step where a dude has just been murked during a robbery gone bad.
Oof.
And I don't want to say that I'm responsible for the downfall of Memphis, but ever since I moved here, shit has gone way south. And,
Yeah, it used to be a lot better, back, used to ride and walk around. Of course, there's always those people, whatever, But, yeah, I remember thinking about Florida. I remember when I remember Mom telling a story. I don't remember it, thank God, but it's probably in my memory somewhere when I was a little kid. We lived in Jacksonville, Florida, and they broke in on the cartoons to show the execution of an inmate. And Mom's like,
damn.
Like, what are you watching? And they're about to, you know,
Gotta learn.
execute this inmate, for death row, and like holy, she's like holy shit, it's
Surprise.
surprise, no more Scooby Doo,
I
go
think it
from
was good for us, though. I
you
mean,
know,
think about what it did for COVID, like the kids being locked up and wearing masks, kids not having any facial recognition, learning, you know, interaction patterns with their like own age, learning how to hear no, actually learning stuff. And I think that's why and so many kids, they said 58% of kids under the age of 20 are on SSRIs. So I think that's why we're seeing such wild, wild shit with people just going nuts in the street because there's no accountability and people's brains just have gone to shit.
well, that they couldn't interact, they didn't have that interaction that they, especially the young ones, the young kids and stuff like that. They lost like 5 years of 3 or 4 years of actual interaction and stuff, and then some people are like, man, I'm the hell with this. I'm gonna leave my kid in homeschool, which I know a lot of people, which is good, but you got to get your kids in other activities if you're going to homeschool your kids. They can't have no interaction with nobody because they're not going to be able to deal with people, Um, especially if you got a parent that's real lenient, like, oh, it's okay, and they don't ever hear the word no, and all of a sudden somebody tells them no, and they throw a tantrum, like, hey, okay, you can throw a tantrum all you want, but they don't get you no fucking where. Now we got adults doing that shit in the damn street, just throwing tantrums, and it's like,
Respect my pronouns.
Okay.
that stuff I don't understand. Like, hey, okay, but it's like, who the hell is supposed to know? Like, especially the ones they like Z-Zers and all that other shit. Like, who the fuck even think and imagine that shit? Like they get mad as hell. Like, why didn't you say the right thing? I'm like, who the fuck knows? What are you gonna do? Wear a sign? Need a big fucking necklace on your back? It says Z-Zer on here. Like, look, motherfuckers, I'm hanging these. I don't know. I don't understand it.
You can identify as a turtle, and I'll call you Mr. Turtle, Mrs. Turtle. I don't care. But how am I supposed to know what you are if you don't know who you are? So don't get mad at me if I screw up. And also, I'm not a cis female. I'm a woman. I'm a female. So it's like they label me stuff all the time. Out here in California, it's pretty wild. They put all this stuff in their signatures, and I don't. When they told me at work, "What's your pronouns?" I'm like, "I'm Princess Rachel." And they looked at me and I said it so serious, and they're like, okay, got it. Because I'm like, I'm not doing it. So I let it go.
Exactly. I don't know. I don't understand it. And I see it, and I seen it at work too, and, in their bio, whatever thing. I'm like, I just shook my head. I'm like, whatever.
It's nuts.
Even when it's, he, him, or whatever, like it's normal stuff, but it's like, but they got to make sure they got to say it out there. I'm like, why do you got to put this extra? It's just extra bullshit. This another way to divide people. Really, I think that's.
Oh yeah.
I think it's an opportunity to divide more people. Man. The more and more they can do it, with more and more weird little fucking things, is their goal. Is divide and conquer these people. And then you got, like Jamie said, there's a lot of people on all kinds of mind-altering medications. And then you got them thinking all kinds of different things that's not rational whatsoever, and and then it just makes a big ass divide, and then you got them out there on the news and out on social media telling people, well, if they don't feel this way, then you need to cut them out of your life. If they did this, they need. I'm like, why are y'all so fucking adamant about dividing the family? We're already have broken homes all over the fucking place. Now you just want to divide, like, put an even bigger divide in family, and it truly is that divide and conquer. So, and then a lot of people can't deal with it, and that's why suicide rates are the way they are right now. And for love of God, if y'all need help, please reach out to somebody and. Call me if you need to. Whatever you got to do to help you need. If you're in that suicidal mode or whatever, get help. And that's the reason. But I think that's one of the reasons why there's such a high rate right now is because there's they've broken something with the COVID. We weren't able to tell our loved ones goodbye if they passed away during that time. If they're in a hospital, they lost that interaction. And they're just trying to divide more and more the home as much as they can.
Well, we're like turning into the movie Wall-E. In 10 years between AI, the obesity rate, what they have in our foods, we're going to be just like the movie Wall-E. If you guys remember that Disney movie with the little robot that would scream Eva for the other robot. But I think they're saying the next pandemic is going to be the pandemic of suicide because 50% of girls under the age of 24 are considered clinically depressed. Boys under the age of 25 aren't having sex anymore, 50%. Because I don't know about you guys, but sometimes by accident, porn will pop up on my phone, and that stuff is wild. And nobody is going out and dating and having sex because they can do it at home. It's too expensive to date. And I think that we're going to see a lot of people just kind of off themselves because they don't understand human interaction. Like, this is great being online, but it'd be great if we were in person. But I mean, I love the internet for that. But most kids just now are spending 12 to 13 hours a day on a phone, scrolling and texting each other. So they can be so manipulated with the algorithms.
Or just talking to Chat GPT or something like that. There now, like so many are just sitting there
Do you
talking
love
to,
me?
yeah, talking to AI. And I know so many that you see it all the time, and then you see, man, people breaking up their marriages and they're leaving their loved ones because of this AI. What's going to happen once they get damn robots that can sit there and talk to you?
So have you noticed the two things? Two things. One, have you noticed the uptick in videos of influencers who have sold everything to move into their van and take it across the country, and that's their lifestyle? There's this whole big campaign to dump your house, get rid of your property, go live in your van down by the river, and do it professionally. And I think it goes into the people not wanting people to. I mean, it looks fun, it looks cool, it looks inexpensive, but it goes into people not owning personal property. Where's your
Charles Schwab.
land?
Yeah,
You know,
Charles Schwab
I
saying.
don't care how much money you got in the bank, how fancy your car is. If you don't own a small piece of property somewhere, you ain't shit. You know, I mean, go buy 100-foot lot somewhere that you could drop a shed on and call it your own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but into what you were saying about suicide, if you look back through the Arab Spring and you look at the suicide bombers that went through Iraq and Afghanistan and through, you know, Libya and everything that happened in Syria and the way that ISIS and Al Qaeda was using these people, they were using two types of people. They were using people that were so extreme to one way or the other, religious extremists, or they were using people that were legit mentally unstable. You know, they were using kids with Downs. They had people that were high autistic on the scale. And they were sending these kids out there to go be suicide bombers. Today's world, we have the whole, you know, purple hair mafia LGBT army that's out there right now, murking people a handful at a time, and nobody wants to acknowledge that yet. Yeah, I think we're going to see an uptick in suicides. At the same time, we're going to see a collateral damage effect from that because if he, she, shim, sure is going to go off themselves, you know what? I'm going to take a couple of these people that don't like my way of life with me, and that's their mindset.
They're already
You
doing
know,
that though, Jamie. I think the last 8 big, huge mass shootings that we've had in the United States have been by trans.
I agree 100%, but I'm talking about to a point where it's a weekly thing.
Oh, 100%. You're right on point.
This is going to escalate and only get worse from here,
But the good
So,
news about all this though is Ron DeSantis is trying to push that bill so because right now you buy your property but you don't own it because you keep like bending over and grabbing your ankles and paying property taxes to the government every year. He's going to get rid of property taxes in Florida.
here's my opinion on that. I think there should be property tax. But if you are an individual that owns multiple houses, your first home or your main residence is tax free. Everything else is going to get taxed on a whatever percent level it is taxed on. But if you are 55 years old and you live in your home that you've paid for, I don't believe you should pay taxes from the time you turn 50, 55 up. One of those numbers. I'd have to look at the math to figure out which makes sense. But, there becomes a point when you truly should own your home outright. And the minute that is transferred, it goes right back into the tax pool until you're, kid or offspring or whoever you give that home to reaches the same age as well. I think every state in the union should do that.
What is the median cost of a house in Memphis?
You know, I'd say 300 right now.
Fuck. You know what I mean? You know what the low side of a house out here is?
What's that?
So a house in Compton that just sold for 892 square feet went for $1.1 million.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. Actually, so this says the median home cost in Memphis is around 226. I figured it'd be 3.
Oh, it's
For
getting there.
1.1 million, you can buy. Especially you can step right
We go get
outside
some
of Memphis.
land.
Hey, you can buy like 40 acres and a mansion, a 12,000 square foot mansion.
Yeah, I married up, so we have a nice house in California. But my plan is to get some property out in Arizona too, because I feel like this is just on the slide when it comes to the politics and everything out here.
I hear they got some beachfront property available.
Yeah, if I especially if I drop my income down, I can get it for affordable living. Now, since Gavin Newsom's giving it to homeless people, which I fucking called it. I called
Well,
it as
what's
soon
what's the
as
deal in the Palisades? Aren't they letting those people rebuild yet?
yeah,
No.
yep, it's 40% is going to be low income housing. 40%. There, I have friends that live out there, and they are making it. You have to now build with climate change friendly materials, which triples the cost of your materials. So they're incapable of rebuilding for cost. And then they're only also testing 6 inches down into the soil. And most of those houses had smart meters and all kinds of chemicals, so they're gonna get fucking cancer. So no one's rebuilding. There, it's also all this red tape. It's taking. There's still people living in trailers, Jamie and Ricky, from 2018 with the fire out there because they still can't get permits. So people are having to leave because they're still having to pay property taxes, still having to pay their mortgage, and they can't get on their house and they can't get anything rebuilt. So it looks like on the news, like we're rebuilding when they have Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom. But like the area that they're on, it's where it used to be about 5,000 houses right on PCH, Pacific Coast Highway here in California. It's only 15 houses that have been rebuilt. And it's just studs. It's not even like they're not even rebuilt yet. They're just starting. So it's fucked. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be sad though. You're sitting there, and especially that kind of mortgage of that kind of property, and you're paying every month, and you don't have shit, and you got to get somewhere else to live. Yeah, that's no, I'm good. I'll stay down here and
Yeah, I
in
mean,
the
same thing
south.
with Altadena. Like Altadena, because Jamie, I don't know if you know, I'm half black and Filipino. Not that I care about race, but my point is, if I want to be like a fucking cuck out here in California, they talk about being race inclusivity and helping the inner cities. 80% of Altadena was black, and it was multi-generational households. So they built these houses back in the 1950s, first land in California to have black ownership, and almost 90% of the people that have had their houses burned down have had to move out because they can't get any help and funding from California. And that $100 million they did for the relief for that concert, not a single dollar has gone to any of the fire victims.
Oh no,
It's
that's
money laundering, all that. Every
yes.
time you see all them celebrities get out from there, and money for Africa, and money for this, and Haiti. We've seen what Haiti and the Clinton Foundation freaking
Oh,
took
yeah.
all that fucking money. They rebuilt the tourist section, but they left all the poor, the people that actually lived there. They left their area just destroyed and fucked, and fuck them. All we worry about is the tourist section, and they've done that forever. All that stuff is just money laundering, handing to this one person. If he, especially start digging into there, it's all. Well, the guy that won the contract he's big buddies with this person and then this person, and you go down the line and.
Surely that stuff doesn't really go on, man. Come on.
Man, we're from Memphis. We've seen it firsthand, live. King here,
Yes.
King Harrington,
King Willie.
King Willie, man. He built a whole. He called it Diamond Estates. He built a whole neighborhood on freaking like damn near tax dollar. And,
That's crazy.
And he actually run for mayor one more time, and he didn't win. And I forgot how many millions he got. He just put it in his pocket and walked away. And it's like, oh, that's mine. They had like Ricky Smiley, that son of a bitch, went to prison for embezzlement, got out, got reelected in the same area, and then went back to jail for doing the same thing again. It's just politics are neat around here. I'm sure there's everywhere. But I swear, I think we're on a special level sometimes. So.
Neat is a very interesting adjective to use.
Neat.
It's
That's my word for
neat.
the day.
If neat equates to corrupt, like I don't think it does though, bro. Come on. Man.
Oh, it's foobar. Absolute.
Memphis is. Check out something. The big land scam in Memphis. So a few years ago, they had this big event nationally called the Summer of Love 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So when the city of Memphis got blackballed and blackmailed by the Black Lives Matter good folk of Memphis, they basically had to give up two parks. There was Jefferson Davis Park, which was a park right down on the river, and there was the other park. Help me, Ricky. What's his name?
Nathan Bedford Forrest.
Yeah, Nathan Bedford Forrest. So there were these two city parks that they basically wanted to tear down the statues, and there came a jam up on the Bedford Forest Park because his was an actual tomb. His body was inside the statue that was there, the base of it or whatever. So there was this big, drawn-out court case to relocate him to, the National Cemetery here in Memphis, the Civil War Cemetery, and they couldn't remove the statue in one of the parks because it was a Memphis City whatever in writing was in place. So the solution was to sell the two parks to this brand new formed 501c, whoever they are, Green Space, I think is the name of them, that happens to be run by somebody who's on the Shelby County Board of Commissioners. And the activists got the park sold to people that are in their family.
Oh my God.
Now, I don't know how the city of Memphis and the impoverished neighborhoods of Orange Mound or Westwood or North Memphis or Fraser or Raleigh or Hickory Hill or Whitehaven benefited from any of that. But this a multi-million-dollar piece of land, you know what I mean? In one of the most prominent areas in downtown, and all of a sudden they've shifted it, with I think they sold the park, both of them, I think it was $1,000.
Oh my God. $1,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all got any of them parks laying around? I'm in need of one.
Yeah.
I don't, for me, I don't know if when I say this, it might go over like a pregnant pole vaulter, not well, but they really need to stop. Thank you, Ricky. They really need to stop they need to start monitoring this shit. At some point, we have to get people in office, taken out of office, that are making money on the side. If we put people into politics like the Tulsi Gabbers of the world, although with this administration, I'm starting to have my doubts on a lot of this shit, especially Kash Patel today. But I feel like people like her, she's still worth the same amount of money. Everyone is doing so much money laundering and shaking hands behind closed doors that the 1% is becoming, there's no middle class anymore. It's 1% and now it's the poverty class. Like in California, if you don't make $156,000 or more, so $156,000 a year, you still need a roommate to live with to be able to not be in debt. Anything under $156,000 is considered low income here now. So I'm like, 60% of our state is, Hispanic or foreign. How the fuck are they affording it? But we're building all these big buildings right now that are supposed to be for, the homeless to move in for $13 million. We did that 10 years ago. And then after that 10-year window, they now are worth $136 million, and they're getting high property value, skirted under the rug because they built it so cheap because it was supposed to be for the homeless. Sorry, I'm on a tangent. It's just, I'm so sick of politicians and so sick of all this bullshit.
Show me one homeless program that has actually brought the number of homeless in their city down that has worked. Show me some statistics and data on a program that has actually worked.
Yeah, they can't find a single dollar. We spent $26 billion last year, and Karen Bass cannot account for $1. And we went from, I think it was 75,000, we're up to 175,000 homeless It's tripled almost in California, and that nobody's being held accountable for it. We can't get funding for like school programs, but we can get funding for the homeless, and then it's getting worse. And they also get EBT cards. They get almost $1,200 a month, some of them, per person to eat, and free housing. The tiny homes here are great. I was like, if I was divorced, I'd live in one. They got like air conditioning, laundry, and they're cute, and they're getting it for free.
Listen, all you got to do is be a junkie, okay?
I'm
You
working
know,
on it.
go show up at one of these, free shoot 'em up spots. Go talk to a couple people, tell them you need some help. You know, pull your card out, tell them you're an Pacific Islander and you're a APOC, Asian Pacific Islander person of color. Um, and I know that phrase only because I was born in Agana Heights, Guam. So I pull out my South Pacific Islander card
My brother
every
was
now
born in
and then.
Guam too.
Um,
No lie, my brother was born in Guam. We went somewhere one time, and they were sitting there, and he went to go get a pew pew one time, and he turned around and they're like, well, I don't know if you're gonna pass your background check, Guam, and they turned around, it flew past so fast. It was like they said it's the fastest one they ever seen. I said, yeah, you dumbass, it's a damn U.S. territory.
Speaking of, real quick, you're talking about being a junkie, Jamie. I know before we move on to another topic, but
whoa!
side note, something fun here in California. Sorry, here comes my guy. Uh, people are testing their fentanyl out, their cocaine here for fentanyl, and there's so many people flushing their fentanyl down the toilet in the LA River. It doesn't get filtered out, so all the coyotes and raccoons and shit are getting high off of fentanyl and acting wild because so many people are flushing their drugs down the toilet.
Cocaine Bear movie is real.
I know.
So at what point? Listen. So at what point are the junkies gonna figure this out, and then they're out there just lapping up all the fucking sewer water?
Hey, we were having a discussion today because I'm always worried about an EMP coming because Trump keeps talking about the power grid, and I keep
Right.
thinking, and my husband thinks I'm crazy, and so I always talk about like 'cause I stock up water and everything else, and I have those life straws at the house, and my
I
big
got some of them
concern
too.
was like, hey, like if we have to use the LA water, do you think my life straw is going to filter out the fentanyl? No, I'm just going to be high as hell when we're going through an EMP.
Oh
It's
my
not good.
god.
It's nuts. I'm like, this is real. Oh my god.
That's the reason all the frogs are turning gay. The Alex Jones is because of all the.
When she started talking about the conspiracies are all coming true, I'm like, damn, like the conspiracy theorists are batting like a perfect 1,000 right now.
Yep.
Um, oh,
I mean, I could go on a tangent when it comes to when COVID first started, even just the vaccine alone. I told my whole family not to get it. I was a simp and I did it and I ended up in the hospital. Ricky knows this. I've had now 13 surgeries because of tumors that grew on my body right after the vaccine.
oh
And
wow.
it's been a nightmare. Yep. Not cancerous, but crazy where it affects my mobility. I used to be a
So,
power lifter and I can't, and Olympic lifter and I can't squat anymore from it.
did you follow COVID from the inception of it hitting the news, and were you paying attention? So before it hit the U.S. and it was shooting through China, there was something very big going on in China. There was a kind of I don't know if you wanted to call it a color revolution or what, but the Chinese citizens over there in various large cities were all protesting in the streets, millions of them. So COVID comes in and shuts down, squashes their revolution, and shuts down the U.S. election as well. Well, at the same time, there were 3 men that were arrested. They were Harvard professors or doctors. They were definitely doctors, but I don't know if they were professors or what their role was, but they were doing some kind of research where they got busted taking something over to China and coming back and doing it for a second or third time. So my theory has always been COVID was produced in the United States, was shipped to Ukraine, and shipped to Wuhan, where they modified it and worked on it even more. And then it was sold to China to quell their population and at the same time realize they can use that to stall the election here in the United States and set up the whole mail-in ballot thing. And I truly believe that it was released in China intentionally, to shut that population down over there.
Yeah. 2016, Obama was known for being in the Wuhan labs. And no one's talking about that. I remember like kind of watching it and seeing people drop like flies, but before it even kind of made, I heard some whispers about it in December. I got really sick in January, so I got it early. But I remember my sister calling me going, fuck, because she's very well known in television and film, and she deals with a lot of those CEO groups. And she's like, man, like 32 CEOs just stepped down. She's like, something's not right. Something's going to happen. And she like started seeing the news. I was seeing people drop like flies. I got really nervous and I started researching stuff. And, I was considered crazy. And I was talking about, because at the time I thought, and I have no problem saying this because my show is a conspiracy theory podcast, I thought they were doing the shutdowns because they were putting so many 5G towers up. I thought that they were doing that because they're setting it up for AI for Project Bluebeam. And if you keep people indoors, they're not going to be able to see you putting all those towers up and protest it. Because I don't know about you, people were like, oh, you don't have to worry about EMF. I get in a Tesla, Jamie, my neck and my shoulders, I can't move them for like 2 days. My doctor's like, yeah, your EMF's like sensitive. And if it's doing that, if you take like a tuning fork and you ding it and you put it in water, it ripples it, right? Mm-hmm. Well, we're 75% water. You don't think putting something like that that's really, it causes cancer for Christ's sake. They know that. And so that's what I thought COVID was at first. But then they told it, you were a racist if you said it didn't come from like a bat, if it came from a lab. So it was just wild to see that whole thing unfold. And I think we've all been batting 1,000 since this whole thing has happened. And people that don't believe in any of them, like my husband, is insanity to me. Like nothing. Right. So, I mean, with that note, we talk about the Wuhan bats. Ricky, what's going on with these monkeys?
Before we get to the monkeys, I know Jason Barker, he is interested in these damn monkeys here, but but speaking of Tesla and everything, actually Elon came out, was talking about using Tesla cars, and like if they weren't driving around, actually use them as a data center, like a big giant data center. And so kind of this
I saw that
today. Shit that makes you go but so are they gonna it don't surprise me none one bit, but yeah, they had the news came out and said we had a truck run off a road, busted, had 6 monkeys come out, had all these diseases, and one of them escaped. They killed 5, and got one still running around.
Jesus.
Not to worry. And then they come out like, oh, wait a minute, we were wrong. They don't have these diseases. So which one is it? Of course. Why would they? What shadow? But he, it's, I've seen so many people talk about it, like, that's like 28 days. For one was like, why is a truckload of damn monkeys heading from Tulane to Florida of all damn places again? What was the point of that? If they are infected, why does it need to go down to Florida? Like, you're just asking for troubles.
Well, what kind of cages were they using that they were able to break out? They should be locked and loaded like King Kong style.
The kind that are meant to break out, girl. Don't you know? Come on.
Cardboard boxes.
Like
the little cat carrier. Little cat cardboard boxes. That's it.
Come on, man.
I mean, I agree. I mean, it should be some hellacious, like steel. You see, like on a movie, hellacious. There was no way in hell, like, they should have got if it got run over and hit that hard, it should have scrambled their brains and it killed them from the impact if they're able to break through them cages. But magically it didn't. You
It
know,
sounds like they all got out. Like it's not like like one cage broke. Because in theory, they would. I would hope that they are all in different cages, as far as testing and everything else when they do any kind of testing.
you would think, think they'd fight or something. They
I don't
couldn't
know.
leave them all in one. You wouldn't think, but they had to be in multiple cages. And then, yeah, all of a sudden,
What was that
oopsie.
movie? What was that movie? Let me think with our guy Rain Man. Oh, Outbreak. Cuba Gooding Jr., the little monkey and the little girl.
Yep.
Bruh, look, I've seen this movie.
We keep on. I swear, I've said this 100 times. I know I have on this show. I believe they put stuff in movies to show us and everything. I think now I kind of got a theory like Demolition Man is kind of what they're looking to bring in to us. Have our the point of our everything's illegal, everything's bad. You can't do salt, you can't curse, you can't do all this stuff, and we're gonna be uh, the group that's listening to this right now, we're all gonna be living in damn sewers, eating rat burgers and stuff. But
Yes.
just to survive because we're not going to deal with this shit. But
You were saying today in Congress, there was I think it was a Republican congressman that was going on and on about how what they're doing in China and how we're kind of going down that same roadmap. Same thing. Have you looked at England? He was talking about, but that there with their social credit score, dependent upon how well you do, they're only allowing 26 grams of protein. So I don't know about you guys, but I have like a, I have to have like a certain amount of, I can't eat certain foods because of what I'm going through. I'm like, so you guys are gonna kill us with all the fake shit that you guys are making. And you got to make sure you're good and you get microchipped and you make sure you only have 26 grams of protein and pay all your taxes. Because they're saying the Chinese social credit score there are like 15,000 kids, like in their 20s, not kids, I sound like an old lady, but I'm old, that are living in the streets because of their social credit score.
yeah, and they're adding all the carbon effect into it now. Right now in England, they're already showing it on the receipts and stuff like that. Hey, this has so much carbon per item or whatever if you bought something like that. And so I mean, yeah, that's coming. And we're going to have to you know take our little medicine with our tracker and pills and eat our bugs. It's kind of like that video I showed a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you've seen it with it come out, but it was this is kind of what the thing is coming to, where they're pushing on all this alternative things, alternative foods. Like I said, we're not supposed to own anything and be happy, and it's just fucking insanity. And so many people are just gonna go, "Oh, okay, you're right. This is good," and I'm hoping most people wake up and like, "No, fuck this. We can't do this. We can't be living like that." Like, yeah, like 28 grams of protein. Hell, that ain't shit. Hell, you get a can of soup's got that in it.
Yeah.
One
Well,
can. Like, so that's your whole daily allowance of
we're fucked.
yeah, you're fucked. And then if you turn around and say something you don't want to, and then like last week we showed the video, talking about like, well, if we have carbon credits, and like if we're for the poor people who can sell them to the rich people so they could have they can do something, they'll have some money, so that the rich people can fly around and do what they want to do, and then let's buy all the carbon credits from the poor people. And it's just like, how does that? It's just like the green wave like that we have right now. It don't make. I've said this a bunch of times on here. We don't have. Supposed to be for the environment and all that. But if you turn around and you have, if you're polluting too much, you can go to another company and buy their credits because they're doing really well to balance out. And how is that helping anything? How is that helping the environment if all you're doing is balance? It's just it's another money laundering freaking scheme for people to get rich off of.
Well, like to Jamie's point, he was talking about earlier, like the social influencers are pushing this whole van life and living like off the grid, living like but the problem is like Carl Schwab, like you were saying, you will own nothing, you'll be happy. Now, I don't know so I work in AI, so everyone hates me right now. And I've been in AI before it was cool. That was my job. And I've done it for almost 8 years now. And so I'm part of the problem, so I'm aware of that. But I'm moving into another job so I can sleep at night. But, if you guys didn't see the news today, 30,000, not regular Amazon workers that are working in the warehouse, but I'm talking executive leadership, HR, marketing, finance, are getting laid off. Meta's doing massive layoffs. People that were coders, like I have a lot of friends that code, working in IT, and they're all getting laid off. So I think they're prepping everybody right now. One, I believe there was something in the COVID vaccine. I think there's something to do with like nanoparticles. I think that they can do technology now in our head, and I don't care how crazy I sound, but they're going to start telling people with your based on your algorithms not working. They're going to try to put everyone on a social credit score where if you're not working, you get this amount to eat. Because I thought it was going to be like 20 years from now, but I'm saying we're going to see a massive issue with layoffs in the next 5 years.
It's 2030. It's Agenda 2030, or they're pushing really,
Yeah.
really hard to get it to that point. So, like everything that we've seen, a lot of stuff is, like 2028 for like UK and stuff like that. They're going to push in for, and that's truly the goal for what are these, elites want to do by that date is 2030 is a time as we're going to see some hellacious stuff. And if it, so we, people need
When
to
do you
wake
think
up.
all the people are going to start dropping from the vaccine?
Already have. They said that there was a study done today. I mean, I saw it on Joe Rogan, so grain salt for people that hate him, from a doctor that was talking about it. And they said there was about 30 million people worldwide that have been killed from it. I knew two friends, like I said, because I was an Olympic lifter and also like bodybuilder and everything else. Two of my friends that were younger that got pericarditis and had to have heart transplants at the age of 30 and 28. I'm suffering from it. I'm saying like you don't hear about it unless you're on certain sites. And now when I go to the doctor, they kind of walk me through like where I report stuff, and you can go in there and see the stats. But obviously they're not reporting it. They just did a huge campaign on fucking MSNBC saying, did you know that now if you take the COVID vaccine, that it shows that it can help fight cancer? When my ex is the head over at City of Hope in one of their areas, and he called me the second day that I was in the hospital after getting the vaccine, and says, do not get vaccinated. I'm like a little late for that now. He goes, we're seeing turbo cancers, tumors, people getting pericarditis, myocarditis, sinus trachycardia, all these issues because of the vaccine, and nobody's reporting it. If you guys want to make yourself depressed, I highly think that everyone should read The Real Anthony Fauci. If you get a chance to read that book, it will walk you through how they did the testing and not do the testing, and how it's depopulation was always the idea. So to your point, it's already happening now, but they're keeping it quiet.
Yeah, I mean that's when they first were doing it, like they were getting the numbers. The doctors were getting paid. We know that now. They were actually getting paid to give the vaccine, and they were getting paid to write down that it was COVID the reason they died. They could have their head shot off, and there was still COVID was the reason they died, and therefore they had the numbers up, and to the point of where they could do something. It's sad. It's sad. So many people got sick. So many people. I know I was 1-on-1, and I put my foot down. I remember
Good for you.
I thought I was gonna get fired over it. I really did. I was waiting on it, and then we even had the president of the company, which I used to work for, and he's a big dude. He's like 6'9", like 300 pounds. He's a big old guy. And I remember him sitting there looking down at me and stuff, and he was like, "Well, y'all need to talk about the vaccine while y'all having your talks and stuff like that." And I said, "Well, we do, but you don't want to hear what we had to say about it." And he got quiet. And I made him duck his head, and he walked out and left the property. And I told my boss, my immediate supervisor, and I was like, if they push it down, I said, you lost this whole crew right here, period. Right. And his eyes got big, and I was like, I'm not fucking playing. I said, you lost this whole crew right here. We're lost. We're gone.
I got blood clotting on my ass. My company gave me such a hard time that when I got out of the hospital, the first thing I did, because I'm classy, is I walked upstairs to the HR office and I dropped my pants and showed them my butt and said, we're done doing this. I'm not doing this anymore. I was like, because if they cared about our health, why am I paying $1,000 a month for my insurance? Why are my friends paying $300 a month for their insulin, which is necessary? If they cared about our health, why are they putting everything that causes cancer in our food? I'm like, this is all bullshit. And why am I getting a free donut for life if I go get vaccinated? Like, that's not the way to go about doing this.
Right.
People like
a cheeseburger and fries. Like the one motherfucker was like, look, you can get this cheeseburger.
Yeah.
This tasty cheeseburger. If you
That
go
was
get
Cuomo.
No,
Yeah.
it was the mayor underneath Cuomo. It was
Yeah.
Balazi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it wasn't Como, but yeah. Come on now. Just and so many people did it, and if you did it, hey, it is some people woke up about it. I know a lot of people like they got the first one, and then when they start out, well, you need 5 boosters and 3 masks. They're like, wait a minute, hold up, something ain't right here. We had to take a take back, and like we didn't get all the boosters and stuff. But I know a person that was bleaching their dash every day during the whole thing. Wouldn't go out to eat. Was like, and I'm like, well, I can't worry about people with my food. I said, if you worried about your fucking food, I said, I hate to break it to you. I said, unless you're harvesting everything you're eating, people are touching your food everywhere.
Right.
Yep.
So either go and enjoy your life and not worry about this shit and do like I am, or you're going to give yourself a stroke because you're going to think about all this shit. But if you really start looking into it, every part of your food, if you got frozen vegetables, anything you're eating, then it's somebody's touched it along the way. And so you're pretty well, it's best to just live your life. I did. I went vacation in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, out in the mountains. I went down to the coast for fights. I didn't stop going nowhere. The only time I had any really trouble though was I went in the museum there in Gatlinburg, and the lady sprayed, I've told this story on here before, but she sprayed hand sanitizer at me. I was like, you're taking this? So I was like, no, the fuck I ain't. And she sprayed my hand, and I wiped it on the wall right in front of her, and she's freaking head about exploded in front of me. And I'm like, just say something. I was just thinking in my head, just say something, you ignorant son of a bitch. I don't know what the fuck you just put on my hand.
Right.
And you're not, fuck you. You're not spraying shit on my body. That's assault, really. You put something against my will on my body. You're fucking assaulting me, you crazy bitch. And so I just wiped it all on the wall right in front of her, and she got so fucking mad. And I walked away. I'm like, fuck you. And I walked to the museum and checked everything out, and I was happy. And the museum was awesome. But that crazy bitch at the front was like that's the only time I had troubles, really.
I get it all the time here.
She was crazy.
Yeah. At Applebee's, I had a little trouble one time because the lady said, you got to have your mask on until you get the seat, and then you got to sit down, then you can take your mask off. I'm like, what the fuck does that fucking do? You're still breathing the same fucking air as everybody.
We had to show our vaccine passports here to go in restaurants. We couldn't go anywhere. I wasn't going to get it. They were going to fire me because I worked for the studios at the time. Both my sisters got it. I was like, well, you guys are both going to die. So we're identical triplets, so we're really tight. And I'm like, all right, so I'm going to get it. Fuck it. But I remember, I got a bacterial infection wearing the mask. So my doctor's like, you can't wear it. So I would go to the grocery store, and these fucking 300-pound hippos would be like, you don't worry about my health. And I'm like, clearly, lady, you don't care about yours. Let's not do this right now. And if your vaccine works so great, why are you worried if I'm vaccinated? If it protects you, what do you care if I don't have it?
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, you see so many people. I've seen so many people that had to wear the mask and stuff like that, and they take it off, and there's this their acne and stuff. It's terrible, because it was holding everything in. The mask ain't made to do that. It's made to keep from shit from if somebody splooge or spits on you or something like that in the hospital. That's what it's made for, And then people were making masks with all kinds of just pieces of cloth and shit. Well, that's cool.
Bro, I have one.
I got a T-shirt.
Sequin on it. Okay.
It's a fucking piece of it's like a T-shirt sleeve you put on your fucking head.
Yeah.
Them neck gaiters and stuff like that. Oh, you're good. I'm like, this fucking does nothing for me to stop from viruses. It's a fucking T-shirt, basically.
California, we had to wear them for 3 years. So I got passive aggressive, and I would wear a G-string on my face because I'm like, it's covering my mouth and my nose. Who fucking cares? I'm not at the top of it. I was so done with it. We were closed.
I think we were down here. We didn't push. It wasn't that bad down here. Most people. Mississippi was one of the ones. Like down in Mississippi was one of the ones. Like Florida, Mississippi, and I think Texas were the ones. That really didn't push the mandatory, unless you got major. Like there's some cities you did, but out in the country, people were like, fuck it, I don't care. Just thank you for you're here. Please come in, come by. And I tried to go out to eat because it was like, man, I want to support these restaurants because not they're going to fall under, if they support this stuff. And I had to shut my gym down for about a couple weeks. And
you ever have the health department pop in there after you did open back up?
I never seen it because I'm always there at night though, so I'm sure they did. But
I
gave him a middle finger because I sit there and turn around. I just had everybody come to my house, and I had mats and stuff in my shop. I had a building, and we just worked out at my house in my backyard.
Right.
I had people doing head movement underneath the volleyball net, and we had a big tractor tire I had brought over there. We were flipping that, and I had weights, and we had wrestling mats, and we just kept on training. We weren't stopping shit.
The gyms were closed down here for almost a year. We were trying to buy equipment online, so like a 10-pound kettlebell, if you tried to get it sold, was like $150. So I was like using bands, like trying to put weights like in I had a dog at the time that couldn't walk, so I was using like a stroller to push. So I didn't have a sled or anything that I was using for like mobility and like glute and hamstring strengthening. It was fucked. And I'm like, so I went outside and I felt that I felt better. But if I was inside, they didn't even want us going to the beaches. If you were outside, you had to have a mask on. I mean, they were arresting people here constantly if you didn't wear a mask. And then you couldn't go anywhere unless you were vaccinated. So, when people now go, well, no one forced you to do it. I was like, well, I was going to lose my job. I had a very good job. And love the Dodgers. I couldn't go to a Dodger game. You could be in the vaccinated and unvaccinated section. And they would ride you if you weren't vaccinated at first, making sure your mask was on. And we would have to glove up too if we touched anything, which was crazy.
That's wild.
Well,
I'm glad I'm not out there. That's crazy.
How did it happen with the Holocaust? I'm like, look at COVID. People were reporting their neighbors for having people over or not having a mask.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt it. Like, well, I had a guy tell on me for I had a bunch of people over my house and stuff from the gym. We were at the house. We were having fun. We played basketball, and I think we did volleyball. I think we did volleyball on one day and stuff. And he turned me into my boss, and my boss came in there and cussed me out. And I was like, fuck you. And I said, these are people where I fucking wrestle and grapple with every fucking day. I said, you fucking wrestled in high school. I was like, if I got something, they got it. Anyway, we're fucking face to face grappling and shit. We're fucking 2 inches apart. It is what it is. And I'm not going to stop, doing what I'm doing and spending time with my friends just because it's bullshit. Fuck that. And he's like, I'm like, I had to push back. I had to push back hard, which I think that was one of the reasons they were getting grumpy with me a little bit. They didn't, but I just told them blunt, and I just told them how I felt all the way across the board all the way to the top. Like today, I had a young man almost freaking get killed at my plant because we were working nights and days. It's a whole different subject, but it was like back and forth, night and day. We worked 2 days and nights and then back and forth, and he couldn't get his sleep schedule, of course, right? I couldn't get mine, but he fell asleep and had one of them big giant loaders, like 80,000 pounds, and ran into the feeder. And luckily, he hit that feeder instead of running over a truck or run off a ditch or run off through some trees. And he was like, well, that's because he's on drugs. I said, y'all fucking drug tested him. That's just because he's fucking tired. And I went through there and I told the vice president, I told the owners, there was 4 owners, I told every one of them motherfuckers, I said, I'm not working nights again. Y'all can kiss my fucking ass. I said, y'all about fucking killed one of my guys. I said, y'all about fucking killed me. I said, fuck y'all, I ain't doing it. And I never worked another night shift ever. They never even come to me no more. I told them, I'll fucking walk. I don't care. I'll go down the road talking to myself. I don't care.
My question, though, with the next pandemic that's coming up, because we know it's coming, is I wonder if most people are not going to follow into this bullshit, because even if you're a Democrat, so many people lost their livelihoods, at least out here, their businesses, their families, and it got so polarizing. I'm wondering if they're going to hit us with something that's a lot harder and kill a lot of people because they're not going to agree to get vaccinated. They're not going to agree to comply as far as staying away from people. And then this way it's going to scare the shit out of everybody to run and get more pharmaceuticals injected into their body.
It's a good possibility they're going to have to do something big, because most people, like I was, listening, like the last, like monkeypox and stuff, they had come out 23, they had the same thing. A monkey got loose, and then they were talking about monkeypox and all that crap. Algorithm was talking about it last night, but nobody listened to it, nobody, bid on it. We're like, fuck this shit. We're not, we just dealt with all this stuff with COVID already. We're not dealing with this. We see that, supposedly, the people like me, I'm supposed to be dead right now because I didn't take anything, and I traveled and did what the hell I wanted to do, but I'm healthier than 99% of them damn people that tell me that shit, so.
I've spent
Probably all of them.
I've spent $140,000 since 2021 on things that were not considered medically necessary to get my diagnosis and get myself better from the fucking vaccine. I will never do it again. I would rather die from not getting vaccinated from an illness. But my immune system is rock solid now. Like I eat everything from regenerative farm. Like we live in like a completely air filtered house. And I don't like I haven't drank since last year, which is a damn shame, but I don't drink anymore or smoke or do any of that shit. So I'm hoping that my immune system will be okay, but I'm not going to comply so that I'm stuck on the medical system for the rest of my life. I won't do it.
Yeah, I haven't drank in probably like 15 years. Especially when I started getting back into martial arts. And I started doing jiu-jitsu and training with like MMA fighters about like 17 years ago now. It was like I was doing a little bit, and I was like, why am I tearing myself down? I was like on the weekends or during the week to turn around and try to build myself back up during the week. I was like, man, it's just, you know, if ones that do it, I'm gonna take my hat off, and I don't judge anybody. Hell, I'll go buy you a bottle. I don't give a damn, but I can't do it, you know. Plus, I just don't have I don't have the control that I need, because I could have good days, and you know, and then especially then I had a bunch of stuff going on and all kinds of stuff, so it was just a lot of stuff in my head. So, and I'm always thirsty, so if whatever's in front of me, if it's a bottle of gin and juice, I'd sit there and drink it. If it's a bottle of vodka and
sipping on gin and juice.
I used to bring your own bottle places, and I would bring a half a gallon of vodka and a gallon of orange juice and leave when it was gone. And I
Man, you are good than I am.
We straight in after hour hellhole bars. Yeah, I was known around the city for a little bit, but
I bartended a long time when I was in college, and then after I was done touring, so I used to put Jack Daniels down like it was fucking water. And then I moved up to Buffalo Trace and Michner's and Woodford. But now it's good that I don't, because I'm the same way, because I will drink it like just because it's sitting in front of me, because I can't let it
that's
go.
it. It's like, hey, yeah, it's a drink, so whatever, you know, if it's whatever it is, I'm just gonna drink it. And if it, yeah, I was drinking a lot of I would drink a fifth of rare breed wild turkey every other day. I'd go through.
Damn, son, get it.
104.
I just threw up in my mouth.
Ooh-wee.
When I had my apartment down in Walls, Mississippi, Jamie, I had a little apartment down there, and I remember one time, and I was sitting there, and then I had to rethink my life because of it. But I didn't have any. I was eating hamburger helper with no hamburger meat because I didn't have no. But I had a freezer full of freaking Crown and Jack and vodka and turkey. My freezer's full of liquor, but I didn't have any hamburger because I didn't have money for hamburger meat to put in my hamburger helper. But so I just eat noodles and sauce basically. But I was like, what in the fuck am I doing? But it took me many years after that. I was still raised. I was 22, 23-year-old Ricky raising 10 kinds of shit and raising hell.
That's what you're supposed to do when you're that age, though.
Yeah,
like, if everyone stopped drinking in their 20s, every bar would go out of business.
I remember I had so many people show up. I had like 15 people show up at my apartment one time. We had basically just a flash party where everybody just, hey, let's go to Ricky's. Like, fuck it, come on. And I had so much liquor on hand that everybody passed out in my house. But me and one other person. Like, literally passed out. Everybody was just laid out across the floor everywhere but me and another guy. And we were sitting on the balcony, and I was screwed up, just leaning against it. I was like, "This is pretty cool. We had a good party, didn't we?" Yeah. You know, it was just crazy. It was crazy times. You know, I survived it. Took a few times. It almost took me out. Like the time I straightened a curve one time. I drank and because I was really bad. Like I used to be really bad if I rode with somebody because I had a DD, so I'm like, oh, I'm good, so I can drink more because somebody's driving. But one night, when I got to my friend's house, I just jumped in my car and I left. And he said, I knew it was going to be bad because I seen you half a mile down the road and you still hadn't turned your headlights on. I was like, yeah.
Oh boy.
And I got 2 miles from my parents' house, and there's a straightaway, and I always hauled ass down it. And at the very end, it's a big curve. This curves real hard, and I straightened it, and Dukes and Hazard jumped in the air, took out a tree, hit another tree, and that second tree stopped me, and I walked home. and I got a scar on my cheek for my troubles, and it the whole, if I had moved over just a little bit, it would have killed me. The whole passenger side of my car, from the front of it all the way to the firewall, is crushed, smushed, all the way flat. And like my toolbox went through my back seat, had golf balls, and I used to work at a country club, and I had golf balls flying through my fucking car and shit. And somehow, right where I was at, it didn't. And I walked away. Of course, Mom put it as guardian angels, and I had a little guardian angel pin up on my visor. It said, "Don't drive faster than your guardian angels can fly." And
Wow.
I lost that. I never did find that again. Mom had to buy me another one, but yeah, I got like 14 stitches in my face for my little troubles and stuff like that. But and 9 o'clock in the morning, I was at the hospital getting stitched up, and they said my blood alcohol level was so high that they couldn't even give me no medicine. It was too much, so they just had to just straight stitch me up raw.
God.
So yeah, I'm a bunch of times that I shouldn't be here whatsoever, but the Lord has blessed me, and I'm still shitting and kicking.
The lesson learned. Like I said, it builds character.
Oh yeah.
Not that I think you should be drinking and driving anybody. Like,
No.
it's bad news, but
Don't do that. Get a friend, call a friend. That's why I'm like DD all the damn time. I got pulled over in our little town one day, like 3 o'clock in the morning. Cops like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I've been a DD all fucking night. Leave me alone. I'm tired. I'm trying to get to a house that's 3 houses down. Like, can I go home?" "Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. Let me see your turn signal's working." And he would turn around and he's like, "It's working." And I was like, "Why didn't you use it?" Because it's 3 o'clock in the morning in this little Pobunk town that's nobody's
There's
here.
nobody here.
There was nobody on the street. I said, "I'm tired. Let me get here because I've been dealing with drunk motherfuckers all night, officer." He said, "Well, thank you for being a DD." I said, "You're welcome." And I drove home and pulled in my driveway. I said, "Leave me alone, man. God, dog." They are bad. Like, if you come in about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning in my little town, they're pulling your ass over, just checking you out and just seeing what you're doing, what you're thinking, and make sure
well,
you got insurance.
if you don't want people to drink anymore, just have them move to Dearborn, Michigan. Did you hear what they're doing up there?
And I did not.
So it's there's so many Muslims that have moved there that the police force even has the police force name written in Arabic now,
I've
and
seen that.
they're going to all the liquor stores and telling them they have 30 days to close up because
I
Muslims,
saw that.
Oh yeah, we played that video. I forgot about that. We did play that video on here where they're going around like, you don't have to do what we say, but you really need to do what we say.
You really right.
well, they're like like all the Mandavi, what his name is, the guy that's running for the mayor in New York. I'm like, you guys are going to deserve everything that's coming your way, but it's
That's
very.
what Jamie said last week.
Yeah.
Is that right? What Jamie said last week?
Let them get it all.
I don't know. The polling numbers are changing a little bit. I think there's going to be a surprise. I think it's going to be like a Trump surprise over there. I really do, because a lot of people silent going to surprise a lot of people and not let him to the point, because I don't know. I seen the video where, because his numbers with the Spanish community was dropping, so he's over here. There's a video of him speaking Spanish and shit, trying to get, and like he's running on all free every fucking thing. I'm gonna give you free buses, and I'm gonna let all these people out of prison because, because it's just a construct. The DA is actually evil. I'm like, what in the hell? It's about to be. Yeah, one of them. You got to pray for New York. If he does get in there, and he does what he says he's gonna do, I ain't heading that way. I guarantee that. I'm not stepping foot in New York for nothing.
Although, what's her name? Ilyar Omaha, whatever her name is, the one that like married her brother. I call her Omaha.
Ilhan Omar.
Yeah, her. That's right. It's like she's not fucking legal, and she married her. I mean, her brother's not legal, and they have done nothing with that. So they were saying. My point is, they were saying that they found out that he's not legal as far as his visa or his citizenship yesterday, as far as documentation.
Well,
so I think it was like DC Drano posted it on his Instagram, and also Benny Johnson, who's pretty well known for the right wing side. And I'm like, that's great. I would have said that's fucking amazing, but because Trump's in office, but we have no Epstein list going on. That never happened. We got Kash Patel today, who blocked any more investigation for looking to see if there was any outside foreign countries that assisted in Charlie Kirk's assassination.
I wonder why that happened.
And I'm like, I'm done. I'm an independent now. Like, I'm so fucking disappointed with everything they ran on is gone. It's gone.
I bet we called it. Me and Jamie and Dave back August. Jamie, I think it was. We were like, we had hope. Is like one thing we said that over and over again. Like we have hope. Like okay, we're going to give the benefit of the doubt. We have hope that this, he gets in, but like by time this year, like we said, really summer, like 6 months, we're going to know the truth, like what's really going to happen. And like this over and over again is like, there's so much shit he's done, like made no fucking sense. And then like he is, and like other stuff he's running on. He's what he run on, he's doing. Give him credit on that. But like yeah, there's stuff with the Epstein list, and then with him coming out and say, well, what's the big deal about the Epstein list? I mean, is it, and then you got, well, he's playing 5D chess. I don't know about some 5D fucking chess on that bullshit. There's a lot of powerful fucking people on that damn list. If they didn't have a list, Ghislaine Maxwell wouldn't still be in fucking jail right now. If you didn't have, you can't have somebody that it was, doing what she was doing, but have nobody, no proof of who they did it with. There's an empty side of it. So supposedly, some of the politicians blocked it where they couldn't release some of the stuff. I've seen that on the dim side, but it's just a fucking show. It's a fucking soap opera circus up there. It really is. I'm still in the boat of the left wing, right wing, same fucking bird. Is really how I feel, and with all this digital ID and all the chaos is possibly could be coming this way. I believe it is because everything in the UK is just they do it over in Europe, they do it all over there, and it's coming, and then we get it later. If you notice that as it goes across, and it's and we got like in Michigan, we already got the cities going for Muslim, which I don't have no problem with Muslims whatsoever. I have a bunch of friends, but we don't need Sharia law. We don't need to be, we don't need what's happening in London where women are getting raped, children getting attacked, sexually assaulted, and then when they defend themselves or something like that, they get arrested because they're defending themselves. That's, hopefully that will never happen over here.
Oh, it's already starting. But here's my question.
To the point they have it over here is what I'm saying. I mean, I think there'll be people
New York.
walking the street with militia be walking around before that happened. It'd be some sure enough shit.
Well, I don't understand. Everybody wants to come to the United States because it's the best damn country in the world. I mean, according to me, I love America. I've been around the world.
It is.
And they want to come here for a better life, but they want to bring the same bullshit from the country they're leaving. It's like,
well, that's what we think about people that come from California to Tennessee. Okay. Like,
whenever I go to like Tennessee, wherever I go to like Arizona, like I make sure I have my MAGA hat on. I wear all my shit so they know when they see that California license, I'm like, I'm from California, but I'm not.
I am not the one.
But usually when I'm going to California, it's for shooting competitions anyways, so like they understand I don't get too much shit for it. But it's amazing. Yeah, I agree with you. All my friends in Texas are like, don't bring your friends here, none of that bullshit, because California is wild. But it's a lot more red than people think, because if you look at the map, like LA County, it's all blue. It fucking sucks. Blue hair, fat Karens running around, homeless, bullshit. But arrest like Orange County, Northern California, it's all red. So right. But they stopped counting at like 2% of the votes whenever we do like an election. I'm like, we need to start counting that shit because I think we're gonna flip it. I think we can make California red because everybody's tired of the bullshit. Everyone.
They've been talking about like it's a good possibility that they are. I think the 2026 is going to really show like it's really going to show like it's what's really going to happen in the future.
Well, Newsom.
Because if like a lot of states flip, we're going to be flipped in a lot of the, especially they with them bringing redistricting and all that kind of stuff. I think it's going to be a lot of red going on unless something crazy happens between now and this time next year.
Well,
because of poll numbers and I mean, which the polls is whoever you talk to is you can't really hold a grain to it, but the polls are showing it. Even on CNN showing that Republican numbers are just steady going up and up.
Here's the problem. In California, we right now are voting on November 3rd for Prop 50, which Newsom is running on. Just spent $26 million to get these ballots sent out, where it's allowing more electoral college votes. And the problem is when you put yes or no on the proposition, in the envelope, there's little holes. It tells if you
You
voted
can see if
yes
you voted
or
no.
no. Yep,
They're gonna throw those right away.
correct. So it's rigged. So that's my concern with Newsom. Although all the fire victims are now suing Newsom in the state of California for their negligence, and I'm hoping there's some national news for that, so he does not make the run for the next presidential election. So he's looking to do it.
I see him try. I mean, he's gonna put his name in the hat, but I don't see him getting any traction. I don't, kind of like AOC. I don't
Oh,
see, and AOC and Bernie ticket that they're testing waters right now. Um, I don't see that getting any traction either because I mean, majority of people can see through that shit.
Right.
Especially that you even got. Um, I've seen a bunch right now going around like on talk shows, like Bernie's going on talk shows, and they're they're kind of fucking with Bernie. And they're like, Trump is putting all this Bernie Sanders stuff out there. Like a lot of stuff that he's done has been Bernie Sanders talking points for a long, long time. And the crazy thing is, like, too, is, if you, a lot of Trump's talking points and stuff that we had is Democrats in the 90s.
yeah.
You look back on them old footage of Chuck Schumer and Hillary and Bill and all of them, they were
Okay.
saying the same shit that he's saying right now. He just didn't change.
Tariffs, like
He
immigration.
said the same thing. That I mean, I give him credit on that part. Like I said, I don't like everything he's done, but I give him that credit. He's been consistent for the last 30 years. I don't like these other son of bitches. He
I
said the
mean,
same thing. He hadn't changed. He hadn't wavered whatsoever. He's
if you look at Newsom, he's like Nerf punting wherever he goes, like just faking it out. He just recently went on some basketball podcast. I don't know if you saw it, and he was talking about like he was trying to speak hood to the black community, like Kamala used to do, and then talk about he grew up on Wonder Bread and mac and cheese because he was so
oh,
great. And I'm
I
like,
saw that.
your
Did you see
dad.
him trying to play basketball and ran over that poor fucking kid? Did you see that one, Jamie?
I've not.
Oh,
Oh
you
my
not seen that? Oh my God! Did I save it or just was? I don't know if I did or not. Let me look and see in my in all my bookmarks.
All
That
my
that
bookmarks.
poor fucking kid got fucking flattened by that dumb bastard.
Like he just flip flops. Like he right now he's trying to pass a law to get rid of you can't have a handgun here in California, which they're gonna have to pry it out of my fucking hands, out here. But he went on the Sean Ryan podcast, and
I
Sean
saw
Ryan,
that.
when they gave him that Sig Sauer, I was like, they should have given him the pink Sig Sauer, and he pretended like, oh yeah, I shoot and I go bow hunting. I'm like, you lying son of a bitch. You've never held a bow ever in your life. I'll
Right.
take you bow hunting, buddy. Let's see how you do.
Man, it's it's just like it's all of them. They all like they change in their voice. They change who they're talking to. It's like Hillary with I got the hot sauce in my purse all the damn time, or Joe Biden. You're not black unless you vote for me, kind of shit. He was pretty blunt with like showing like, hey, but it's crazy how they just they all do that. They all that kind of do that kind of crap and just kind of cater to that whoever they're talking to. It's crazy.
I hate politicians. They're so fake.
The worst
Like,
things in the world. I am getting a little nervous though because Joe Rogan was like on with his buddy Duncan. I forgot Duncan Trussell, who's another comic, and they were talking about, oh, we don't like the way that Trump is like families are getting split up for like the immigration. I was like, if I break the law, like if I get a DUI, my kid would be taken away from me. It's the same
right.
shit, like there's no good way to do this, and everyone said they wanted this to be fixed. So it's gonna be, we're gonna have to glory hole our way through this right now and eye around to make sure we get the right position. And it's never gonna be right. So it makes me nervous with Joe Rogan saying that. Although he's always been a big Bernie fan, I'm just because his platform is so big that he starts pushing the hardcore socialist stuff that he was against this whole last year. Oh my God! Look at this son of a bitch. Whee! I'm such an asshole. Look at me
Look,
go.
I can spin. I spin. Look out, little kid.
Oh, oh my God! He saved him. Oh my! There's a rumor out here that Newsom's always coked out, which wouldn't surprise me.
Oh my God, have you seen the video of the dude touching his face constantly, man? And he's like all over the place, and he's like, like he's one of the bros, man, just chilling, like. My
Oh my
God.
God! Yeah.
He looked like Hunter Biden that night at the New Year's Eve party on the White House balcony where he's all freaking out. Get out of here, man.
That time that the recent interview with Hunter Biden where he's like talking about how awesome crack is. I'm like, I think
And
Ricky
how to
needs
cook
that.
it and how great, like,
Oh, it's so
yeah,
much
that's
better than booze. It's so much more pure and it's good for you. I was like, can somebody take the fucking mic away from this guy? Like, what are we doing? That was nuts.
absolutely.
But
But
I don't know.
like,
What else you got on docket today?
um, let's see what we got here. I got lots of fun stuff. Speaking of Mandani, here's him talking about wanting to empty out the fucking jails.
That's a great idea.
Just fucking pour it on the streets there. Oops. I guess I need to put the volume up. Get over here.
Let's hear this guy.
Oftentimes, we've even found as legislators, when we go into these courts, the term violent crime is even used when people are stealing packages. Violent crime is even used when people are accused of burglary and there happens to be a housing unit in that same dwelling. So violence is an artificial construction. And we have to be very clear that what is happening here with these district attorneys, that is violence. That is violence of the highest degree. We have
Oh my God.
Artificial construct is violence.
So,
What is he on? He needs to share where the fucking shit he's on with everybody. And go ahead,
Ricky, as a couple poor white boys from Mississippi,
Mm-hmm.
do you think he would allow us the opportunity for us to relocate to New York and possibly take over one of these unoccupied mansions by these millionaires that own 6 or 7 houses? Like, is that a thing? Is that what we're getting at up there? Like, do you think he would hook you and I up with that type of offer?
Probably not.
Damn it.
Probably not. I don't know. I might be able to because I put Native American on the census so every year, so I probably can get it. But I've been doing that for years. I just put other, where they don't know what the hell I am. They don't need to know.
I was a piece of shit in college. I mean, I leaned to that black side real heavy. The scholarships were looking real good. That DEI hire shit was real good.
Are you saying you took advantage of your ethnicity?
I did. It is funny though, like at work, people always ask me what I am. I'm like, I'm American. And I'll never forget being in a meeting and they're like, we need to have Rachel on the call because she's a woman and of color. I'm like, it's not because of my fucking skill set and my award-winning personality, assholes.
Well,
That's
you know,
pretty messed up, isn't it?
I questioned your Philippine descent right out of the gate because I did not see your mom or your dad in the background asking what you were doing. And coming from a guy that grew up with an uncle that was married to a Filipino and had half the family from the island over in the U.S. living in his household, I thought that was just a way of life for you guys, you know?
It usually is.
It usually is, right?
Yeah.
I'm not being racist, folks. It's
true.
just a thing. It's just a thing.
Mom's dead and my dad lives in Florida. Otherwise it'd be a thing.
You threw mama from the train, didn't you?
I did. Everyone always jokes like, oh my God.
Actually, you didn't because the damn train never got built because you live in California.
$20 billion later. Very, very nice volley. There's still, that got that funding in 2015. The money is gone. And they've built like 30 feet of tracks. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Apparently, y'all are having a great time at somebody else's expense.
We know he is. I mean, Newsom's living in a $9 million house on a $175,000 a year salary. So somebody is his wife has an NGO, a couple NGOs, and
He's married?
yeah, yes, he's married. But he
I
was,
thought he was gay
I'm sure
and
they all
married
are.
to a woman,
What?
not a
What?
wife.
He's a two-beer queer. I'm sure that guy's had a finger or two up his ass before.
To be a queer. Jesus Christ. Ah! Ricky, we got to bring her back. Next thing you know, she's going to scream faggot on the microphone and
Sorry.
He did. He did. What didn't he? He slept with his
His
somebody's
manager's
his
wife.
manager's wife. Yeah.
Do you know who he was
It was
married to? Was Kimberly Guilfoyle, who was used to be engaged to Donald Trump Jr.
it's a big club, and we ain't in it.
It's a giant circle jerk. They're all fucking each other.
I'm
And
going to tell you, when you've got
They
money,
got Katy
women
Perry
will let
now
you
with
do
shit.
whatever.
whatever you want.
And they're like, oh my God, Donald Trump is such a chauvinist. No, it's just a fact.
But same thing with like the whole, not that I'm condoning what Harvey Weinstein did, but like that's not sexual assault. That's a transaction. If I go
Bro,
upstairs and I suck your dick and I get a movie part, that's a transaction. That is not rape. I'm sorry. Or sexual
well,
assault.
yeah, they really stretch that line on him. Now, was he a douchebag? I have zero doubt that he was the biggest douchebag ever. You know, did he get his dick sucked by a lot of beautiful women that he empowered their careers by getting them into TV and movie and make them millions of dollars? Yes, he did. You know, but to the Me Too movement got so targeted. It was
Pound.
no longer about, bringing rape victims, people of actual sexual assault to the front and center. Now everybody that had somebody's dick in their mouth that they hated, down the road, I've got, hey, me too, look what he did to me.
Yeah.
Stop it, man, stop it.
That's
You
why I
know,
was
it,
shocked. People are like, "How old are you?" I was like, I've worked here before the Me Too movement, like, back in the good old days. Like, you could
right.
say shit, but it depends on who is running Congress or who is in office or who's just in the studios or who's crying wolf because now certain women are like the people for Jeffrey Epstein say they were raped and they're saying it's not real.
Right.
So I'm like, Harvey Weinstein, not rape. These poor women that are, and also they're terrified to go in front of the press because they're scared of getting killed off. What was
Right.
the girl that died from suicide? The blonde that
Uh,
talked about, you know what I'm talking about?
yeah, and
Yeah.
she let the videos like, hey, look, I'm not suicidal. This wasn't. I didn't do it. If I'm missing, um, you know,
I forgot her fucking name, but it was crazy that, and the press didn't cover much of it. They said she was covered in bruises, but they said that it was suicide, even though she said she wasn't suicidal. And then, Andrew, uh, Prince Andrew is denying it. They finally took away all of his shit over there, thank God. But it took how
You ever
many years?
heard the tie? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it just popped into my head. Have you heard the tie that Diane actually found out what all he was into, and then that's why they murked her,
I wouldn't doubt that.
Princess Diane? Like,
Why not? I mean, because I've heard, obviously the tunnel camera didn't work. I've done a deep dive on this thing too. But like, apparently she was knocked up by Fayette, whoever she was dating, the Arab guy, and
right,
Prince William. They didn't want to have her having an Arab baby, which whatever, and they killed her. But that makes a lot more sense because I feel like Prince William, Prince Charles, Prince Harry. I mean, look at Meghan Markle. She's like, she'll suck a dick for a penny. Like she'll do anything. You know what I
she's a
mean?
total media whore, man. She
Yeah.
wants to be in front of the camera so bad.
She's horrendous and crying like I'm so oppressed and like racism. I'm like, bitch, you married a prince and you're like your guys are billionaires. Shut up. Go
Right.
keep doing your cooking show on Netflix in your white outfits. You dumb bitch. She drives me crazy. But yeah, I'm with you 100%. I think that could 100% be it. That she caught what he was doing, was going to report him. But I think that whole family is satanic. I think there's all kinds of crazy shit going on with that family.
Right.
Did you guys
Yeah, and
remember?
go ahead.
Sorry, in 2022, there was a hashtag on Prince William saying that he was into it was Prince William pegging. Like apparently he likes to be pegged, and that they were trying to change the hashtags that got out because like his wife knows that he has a mistress and all this shit, and that's when she went missing. And then they said she had cancer. I still don't know if she had cancer. I have friends that had breast cancer and had abdominal cancer, and she still has full hair. She looks exactly the same. She does not look like she went through a whole bunch of radiation and chemo. That's just me though. Maybe she's special.
Well, they got special medicine for look at Magic Johnson, who had HIV in 1990 and was giving blood the other couple of weeks ago. Giving blood. So they have special medicine for if you're
But
on a
have you
certain
ever?
level.
But have you ever wondered if they really had it in the first place?
That's what I was saying. It's like the whole
Like,
thing. Like apparently
True,
that
that's good.
her cousin died. Like her cousin was apparently not her cousin. Her best friend who was a guy. Apparently they were sleeping together, and then her old best friend who was married to some other prince was sleeping with Prince William, and apparently she had a baby. There's like this whole thing online saying that there was all this weird shit going on, and that Princess Kate they came up with this because she was gonna expose everything, and they had to like lock her up basically and tell her to calm the fuck down and not be like Princess Di. Do I sound crazy? Probably, but who knows?
Anything is
you know,
possible.
I have over the years adapted the philosophy that if the media is telling me something, I'm going to ask two questions. One, why are they telling me this message? And two, what emotion are they trying to invoke by telling me this message?
Correct.
Do they want me to be mad, sad, glad, happy? What are they trying to get out of me? You know, and I had a changing of guard of sorts when I went from being a diehard Democrat to all of a sudden asking questions about when Trump first got elected office. I voted for Obama twice, and I was going through a program at work called the Principles of Adult Learning. I'm a corporate trainer, a facilitator, and I instruct and educate new facilitators on the art of public speaking and how to deliver an effective message, right? When they're selling, a customer service program, for example. So you go through these different ways that you teach a group of people to interpret messages so that they all get something out of it, no matter what their learning curve is. So at the same time that I'm going through my program, I'm watching a documentary about propaganda during World War II and the way that they just interlocked. And it's the same night that the PP tape story dropped, where DT 2 days before the election or 3 days before the election or something, where DT hires hookers to piss in the bed that the Obamas slept in over in Europe, and I can't believe he spent $2,500 on this. And I was like, that story is fake bullshit.
Yep. Yep.
And that made me sit back and really question everything that I thought I knew about, the parties. And then I just sit and I watch the media just crucify Trump for 6 months straight, while I paid attention to the documents that he was signing, the executive orders that were going in place, and the legislation that was trying to get pushed through, and just listen to what he was actually accomplishing. And I'm like, these people are all lying out their ass. I'm like, I am no longer on the bandwagon. We off the plantation. I am not a Democrat anymore. And the more I've just watched this over the last 10 years, I'm just like, my God, I've been on the wrong side of this the whole time. You know?
It's not wrong. It's just like it's whatever bullshit they're feeding us. And I wish, like, I always joke because my husband's a Democrat, but he's an old school Democrat. Like, he still makes sense. He's not really big into the trans movement and like all the pronoun bullshit. But there's a lot of stuff that he won't budge on. Like, he just Rachel, you can't think that way because you're black or you're a woman of color or you're half, or you can't think that way because you don't look a certain way. Because there was a company I wanted to work for, and I wanted to be a COO for the company, and I was a director at my last position. And he's like, you can't be a COO because you're a woman and you didn't go to an Ivy League college. I was like, well, way to fucking beat me down. Because just because you went to college, look at the indoctrination of what they do to kids. I mean, kids aren't even getting regular degrees anymore. They're getting like, I had a friend that spent $180,000 at Pepperdine getting a degree in women's studies. And I'm like, what the fuck can you do with that? You can't do anything with that. Or people are picking their own shit. So my sisters are both hardcore Democrats. And I remember talking to my sister when Hillary was running in 2016. I'm like, have you checked out the Clinton body count? Do you have any
Right.
idea what's going on with that and that woman, and that she's on tape for bragging for getting a pedophile off that raped a 2-year-old, and she's laughing about it? Well, that's not true. That's not true. I'm like, here. So I literally watched the evolution of my one sister in Hawaii. She like owns a bar and works like 1 hour a day, and she's always going to be a Democrat. And good for her. She's living the life. She's not stressed out like I am with politics. But my other one, she went through the whole roller coaster of like, holy shit, I've been lied to for years. So
Right.
it's just an evolution of, but I also don't trust half the shit coming out from the right anymore either. It's
Right.
all,
No,
yeah,
the way the right is leaning so hard on Israel is just the, backbone of America. There's so much wrong, with what they're doing in Gaza, what happened in California, basically the way that some of those places have been wiped off the map. Gaza is being bombed off the map, and if you want to go in and wipe out a terrorist group, you do it with a knife, not with a hatchet, and you don't blow up entire apartment buildings and hospitals, and you go in and surgically remove these people that are threats. You don't have to destroy the entire fucking community. And you hear people on the right and you hear the whole, APOC lobby, and they're just like, oh, Israel, 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 Israel. Bro, they've got enough of money. We do not have to keep giving these people money every year. Let these people figure it out.
I try
I'm
to.
I'm America first. I think that we need to cut off money to every country overseas. I don't care what nation it is. I don't care what side of the world it's on. Let's just focus on the dude down the street from my house right now, sleeping on the fucking curb. You know?
Yeah, it's extreme on both sides. Like we've called about a lot of times on here on the show. It's you got the extreme left and you get the extreme right, and none of them are right. None of them are correct
Right.
because it's and like yeah, all this stuff right now, like Israel's our friend, Israel's like that, and then if you go over there, the 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 people of Israel spitting on Christians and stuff as they walk by, and they
Right.
don't give a rat's fucking ass. They know, and then we're paying for their housing, and we're paying for they can just sit in their house and not do
Right.
shit because
Ricky, let me
we've
ask you a
spent so much
question.
money over there. All right.
Ricky, if 20 or 30 Muslim men came up out of a sewer manhole in New York City, and then a bloody stained mattress was removed from that same said hole, what kind of fucking outrage do you think there would be across the nation? What if it were a group of white rednecks, or a group of, you know, uh, pick your class. People would flip the fuck out. But nobody, I've not seen a follow up on that. Where was the blood from?
No, that'll
What were
disappear
those
quick.
people doing in the ground, under a building, in a secret fucking access point that went in through a fucking sewer cover?
I don't have an opinion as far I don't talk about Israel Palestine, but I remember during COVID seeing a tweet on Twitter, and there was a guy that lived on the first floor of an apartment building, and he said it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm hearing Yiddish underneath me, and I live on the first floor, and everyone told him he was an anti-Semite, told him he was crazy, and he
That was
take
the building.
yeah, and he said, "Well, I'm not an anti-Semite. Like his friends were Jewish, whatever." He's like, "But I'm just hearing it underneath my feet. It's scaring me. I don't know if anyone knows what's going on." So yeah, there wasn't. You didn't hear anything else about it. But like I was telling a friend the other day too, like because I have a lot of Jewish friends, and we were kind of going back and forth, and I was just like, I'm not like anti-Jewish. I was like, why can't I question? I question my own government. I question the United States. Why am I not allowed to question like the Israeli government? You
Right.
know, I mean, like I question everything, and I think that's I said when they're saying like on TikTok right now, if you say anything like against Israel, like it's considered anti-Semitic, and they're taking your post down.
Right.
Same thing with Twitter, and I said you guys got to be careful. It's like the same thing with BLM. BLM, you could only say Black Lives Matter. You couldn't say All Lives Matter, and that made people fucking hate that movement even more. I said, so you want to allow people to ask their own questions, and all of my Jewish friends are lovely, and I'm a hardcore Christian. I read the Bible every day, but I'm also going, I'm allowed to ask questions. If I don't ask questions, that's when I'm not allowed to ask questions. People are going to start going, why? So I hear you. It's just, it's so fucking, it's amazing to me that people don't understand that when you start stifling people's speech, I'm so 100% the First Amendment. Yeah, you could, for me, sticks and stones will break my bones. Words will never hurt me. Allow people to say whatever the fuck they want. The problem is, like, I mean, people will argue about Charlie Kirk. But the thing is with
Right.
Charlie Kirk, if the right would have been allowed to talk how they wanted to all through the pandemic, the whole time we were starting hate speech, hate speech, hate speech, take it down, take it down. I don't think we would have gotten to the point of you're a Nazi, you're a xenophobe, you're a fascist, if there would have been an equal opportunity for people to have fucking conversations on the internet. Even though, and I always say, the internet is not a real place. It's not a real place. So people get outside of your house and start going to talk to people too. That's
Right.
important. All right,
Yeah,
I'm off my soapbox.
yeah. I mean, for sure. I mean, we need to be able to call out, and that's what we do. We do on the show and stuff. We call out, like, it's we don't have a problem with any people, actual people. Is these governments, and these governments are one of the
Right.
ones. Like, even the Israeli people are fed up with Netanyahu and all the bullshit he's doing, and won't do another election. The prime minister they actually liked was killed over
Yeah.
there, and so it's a bad situation, and you know that we can't, as a people, we can't call them out, the government, what they're doing. Just ask questions. We should always be able to ask questions. I know me,
Right.
even as a kid, I got in trouble a lot of times, even in school and stuff. I'm like, I'm asking, well, you should just whatever. I'm like, no, you got to explain to me for I can understand it.
Right.
Or I'm gonna keep asking questions. And now, now I'm adult. I'm like, fuck you. You gonna answer my questions or else. But like as the, which I do, like the greater Israel project. I'm sure y'all both heard.
I haven't heard that. What is that?
You haven't heard about the Greater Israel Project? They're they're looking to expansion is absolute is part of that Greater Israel Project. They're looking at expansion. They're looking at that's why they went up in Syria a little bit. Paid attention to what's going on over there when they're battling and everything, they went up in Syria. They're bombing Lebanon, Beirut, southern down towards, of course, in Gaza and all that. You know, it's all for the money. And I seen a big thing on it a while back talking about how, Israeli ports, like for money wise, like the Israeli ports are not where they need to be, and they're not. They can't move the product that they need to be able to move, and because they had to go around and had to, and so they actually really want to put a canal basically through Gaza, so they can actually make more money, and so that's what of course, if they put the canal right through where they want to put it at, and Palestine is still controlling Gaza, well, they won't make Palestine make all that money. So that's one of the reasons for all this kind of battle. And there's all kinds of natural gas and oil right off into the ocean and the Mediterranean Sea right there, right off the coast. So it's all money and all control and power. And if you look at what they want to do, because even the port they have, you had to truck it all the way up to Jerusalem and stuff like that. So it takes a lot of money. So it's all money. And it's all trying to take over and take control, and really a lot of people look at it and look at the Great Israel Project as really they want the whole Middle East. They want to take it all over. They want the whole Middle East being in Israel.
Well, could you argue too? Trump right now is talking about making Gaza into like the next fucking Vegas. Like,
Well, I think he was somewhat being facetious with that.
okay.
It wouldn't surprise me though. He did say he wanted to take over, and that was the ones that they kind of like, man, what in the hell are you doing? He's like, well, we're going to take care over Gaza, and we're going to rebuild it, and then we're going to like, yeah, and like, it wouldn't surprise me not really. It wouldn't surprise me not a bit that just like everywhere else, it's getting leveled right now with natural disasters, and they're going to turn back. Well, look at this. This is a smart city area. Hawaii,
Do you know what we need to do?
L.A., Jamaica.
We need to pull a fucking Nepal. They need to like someone needs to hack in and pretend to be the government and take down all of our social media shit so that everyone in America storms the government and overturns all the bullshit. You know what I mean? Like I think because we're so run by every politician, every other even you can argue any other country. China owns our asses. You know, there's so much stuff that we're involved in. One, we're the ATM for the world all of a sudden. And two, you know, we are literally like bending over and grabbing our ankles. Like I said, for China, like we're having issues right now with tariffs because we were so dependent on them and we're not being America first when it comes to any of our imports and things that we make. So at some point, I'm like, why don't we just do what Nepal did and make America what the people want it to be instead of just, I mean, I sound like an anarchist, like a anarchist right now, but I mean, at this point, fuck it. It's just, it's so dirty and nasty. And I feel like we're at the point now where we're not going to be able, like I said, it's going to be 1984 Orson Welles by 2030, like we were saying earlier. We're not going to, they're doing it right now with AI. 11,000 words have been deleted from the English language to be teaching children when they're younger because they're not necessary. And I'm like, which 11,000 words are those?
No, we'll let you know. We'll let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Constitution, freedom, liberty. Oh, man.
It's
Ricky
what's
Pike,
coming.
I hate to cut this, cousin, but I got to bounce off here, man. It's that time of night.
Oh hell,
I
go play a
appreciate you
little
for
video
having
game.
me.
Hey,
Yeah.
shout out your stuff
The
real
boys
quick.
are blowing me up right now. Man, listen,
They'll be
jump on
strong.
Facebook. Give me a follow on Facebook. Jamie 2Gs, Jamie, the number 2GS. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I've just put Whitney's new shirts up for sale, the Kripolitsu shirts. We are going to be rolling out pretty soon, man. After she gets a few medical things taken care of, we'll be out on the road hitting gyms across Tennessee, hopefully second, third week of December, going into all of next year. Passing along the message of adaptive martial arts for all.
Awesome.
Our goal is to get these different gyms to donate one class a month to people with disabilities so that they can get on the mats, man, get some confidence building, some team training in, and just be a part of the community. I think it's a great way to get gyms some recognition across the state. We've got a website that's up and running that will have all of the gyms that we get signed up for this program listed. Whitney's advocating for this platform so that she can get Miss Wheelchair America next year, August, in Minneapolis. So we've got about 10 months, I guess, to put some work in and get the message out there, and hopefully I can get my girl the crown. Adaptability Home Services, it's a company that we came up with in the Mid-South area, tri-state area. People that have disabilities that need, you know, a helping hand around the house, whether it's elderly care, respite care. Whitney, help me with all the words. Housekeeping, well, just light work around the house. Listen, I'm not going to come in and steam clean your freaking carpets for you, okay? But I'll rearrange some stuff and, you know, even help get you on a meal plan. But yeah, we do a lot of great things. AdaptabilityHomeservices.com or AdaptabilityHome.com. Had to remember our website for a minute. I'm getting the evil eye from Mama sitting over there. But yeah, man, a lot of things coming up. Go buy a Kripolitsu hoodie, man. I'd really appreciate it if y'all did.
On it.
It'd make her day. So we appreciate you guys. Ricky Pike, thank you as always for having us out, man. We are going to get to your gym soon. We definitely are going to come before she goes under the knife. Okay. That way we can come get a class in with you. So we're going to make a point of making
come down
that
there,
happen,
and
so.
I got some ideas and stuff. But once you come down there and see, I got some ideas run by you when y'all come down. So
Absolutely, my brother. Cool. Ricky, you know I love you, man. I appreciate everything you do for me and Whit and just the community in general, man. Ray, pleasure. Had a great time talking to you this evening. Hopefully you'll join us again soon. And hopefully we'll see you around. Absolutely, man.
I'm going to finish Whitney's book this week, and I will go in there. I'll grab a sweatshirt as well and represent. I'd love to have her on the show at some point and hear her story if she's willing to be on, because I think.
Yeah, she's already said she's interested in being on it. She loves to talk. She's laughing.
There's her laugh. There's her laugh. We had to get her.
Well, Ricky, did she tell you what I did to her?
No, not to.
So I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell on myself. Let me tell you what I did.
No.
So this weekend I had this great thing set up. I had this whole thing all mapped out. We were going to interview her in the cage when we put the crown on her and with her sash and her roses and everything, and I had all my notes all nice and written out. But what I didn't have at the bottom of my notepad was interview that I have on everybody else's, and I got done talking about her and sent her on her way and didn't give her an opportunity to speak on the microphone, which was what I was supposed to do. And yeah, I blew it at the MMA show. I'm a complete asshole. But November 22nd, USA Boxing. We're back in Memphis. So hopefully I can get her some stage time for Elite Boxing. But we're going to work with the photographer and get some video out there and let her, sell her spiel. So.
All right, let me, before y'all get out of here, let me share this real quick. We're going to share, while y'all here, Miss Whitney and her getting her with her crown.
Awesome.
And
Yeah,
Jamie
man,
with a
look
jacket.
at her go. That's the fancy jacket.
That's
man,
so awesome.
it's October, so we had to rep the pink.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
She's a boss, man. Listen, she is one of the most awesome people I think I've ever known, man. Her personality is freaking awesome. She's fun. She loves Alex Jones.
Putting the crown on. There we go. So.
That's so awesome.
See, man, I love that photo. She hates that picture. I'm like, that is my favorite picture, man. It's so great.
Yeah, she's great.
We're gonna take her out and get her some more photos done, and I gotta record that video. Anyway, pieces in the Middle East, people. I'll see y'all soon.
Thank you so much for having me on. Real quick, too, before I jump off to Ricky, Raydical Truth podcast is on Spotify. Take a look, hit follow. I'm also, if you want to ask any questions, Raydical Truth podcast on Instagram. Also, sponsor of the show is don'ttreadonbean.com coffee. It's a great, patriotic coffee. If you guys want to go buy it, support the show. It helps fund everything. So I appreciate you guys so much for having me.
Don't tread on bean. I love it.
That's fucking amazing.
We got some coffee to buy, Whitney. Don't tread on bean.
So
yeah,
Ricky,
Mom and Dad's got theirs in the other day, so.
Oh, sweet. Thank you. You got the hat coming too, right? So, or you got the coffee. It's right. You got the coffee coming.
Yeah, I got the coffee and you got the hat. So we're working together. We're teamwork.
That's what we do. That's what we do. All right, guys. Pieces.
All right. Thank you so much. You guys have a good night.
Now I'm by myself. Woohoo. All right. Well, we're going to keep on having fun, y'all. Appreciate y'all. In all the chaos. Yeah, Wally, I'd tell you not to blow a head gasket today. I was worried about you. I thought you were going to stroke out on me, my friend. So we're going to keep on keeping on. We'll keep on going a little longer. I got a few more things to share. I wanted to share some stuff. I seen this earlier. It's kind of fucked up with Canada. Of course, we got our feel good videos at the end, so you gotta stay around for the feel good videos. I know a lot of people love them, and some of the reason they stay so long. So
the Journal of Death and Dying recently this year of 2025 came out and expressed what Health Canada's plans look like to save money. They are on track starting 2027 to 2047 to save $1.273 trillion by providing 14.7 million Canadians with MAID rather than palliative care.
What was that number? Say that.
14.7 million Canadians. Over 9 million of those are projected to be elderly. Over 4 million of those are projected to be the mentally ill and suicidal. Over 300,000 of those are projected to be the Indigenous population, and then everyone else, addicts, homeless, and otherwise. So Canada's running a eugenics program, and they're planning to expand that with the start of mentally ill only qualification in 2027. And for those that are find those stats as disgusting as I do, you can go check out the SAGE Journal or the Journal of Death and Dying. They break it all down for you. They go through the numbers. We've also done it on the series as well.
try to do two things at once. Let me play one more video and we'll talk about this. For our friends in Canada, it's getting fucked up there.
Voluntary.
So, Canadian
through the amnesty ends, the people are not in compliance with the law. So how is this truly voluntary?
So, Canadians starting in Cape Breton today will be able to enroll in the program, be able to get compensated if they were to turn their firearm in, or they will be able to get compensation if they deactivate and confirm that it's deactivated with a certificate. So it is strictly voluntary. Nobody is being forced to undertake the buyback program. Well, the expectation is that they will comply, and the order in council, as you know, is being extended from this October to October of 2026. So there is a one-year window. Our expectations is that law-abiding citizens will abide by the law, and beyond that, the police of jurisdiction is tasked to, as you know, implement the criminal code.
So they want to off a bunch of people, and take away your guns. Yay. Nothing to worry about here. Yeah, I seen them talk about that on the guns, Don, where like they were really upset because I forgot how many 100,000 guns were bought and only like 12,000 or something like that was turned in. So the numbers percentage was stupid crazy. And but the euthanization of people was really, really sad to think about. Like, they already got, it's kind of already there with the healthcare and stuff like that. Where you already got to wait. If you don't have money, you got to wait forever to get a damn doctor in Canada. If you got money, you can move on up that list. So it's crazy seeing some of the stuff on here. Play this video. I wanted to play earlier when I had them on here, but we got talking, which was fun. It was fun with Ray and Jamie. I knew it was going to be. I knew it was going to be a bunch of fun with them two together, and yeah. But here's going to get called out for that.
Taking $7,000 per post. I know I've seen that happen a lot with you, Emily, and you're also at that meeting with influencers. So what's the reality of the situation?
I'll speak on behalf of myself and honestly on behalf of the government a little bit here, the Israeli government. They target influencers who agree with the cause and then recruit us for meetings like what you saw with Bibi for messaging. With that being said, I can safely say the government's not funding any influencer. With all due respect, I don't think it's completely accurate to say that influencers aren't getting paid, because let me tell you, by the government, they offer that money to me, and I sent you the exact email, let me pull it up. The Consulate General of Israel, wrote me an email offering to pay me to go to Israel. They would pay all my expenses and also pay me, and then they offered to give me a spot for my guest. I shot that down. I declined because it didn't sit right with me. This is about a year ago, If tomorrow I got bankrolled by Israel, I am already pro-Israel. Why can't I be paid for that? Are you registered as a foreign agent under FARA? No, but they're paying me for service. I work there. You should be registering under FARA.
You got called out quick. Yeah, that's one of the things that some of these influencers need to be, they need to be signed up on a FARA, because they need to be being able to see that they're going and understand what's going on, that what they're doing and everything. I'm gonna play this video real quick, and I'm gonna run and go say hi to the restroom. I'll be honest. So you're gonna see me disappear. Y'all watch this and chat with each other, and I'll be right back.
Never going to change my party, but clearly we've lost the argument, and right now I think it's entirely appropriate to really be honest and just figure out why exactly have we effectively lost 2 out of the last 3 cycles, and a lot of the things we've really kind of really lost our connection with American voters in ways. And I think we can't just be, well, Trump is always wrong, or or that we're going to set the country on fire or whatever. That's just not true either, of course. But, when I represent a state like Pennsylvania, that keeps you honest. And you always can't forget that a lot of Americans happen to disagree with you. That does not mean that they are fascists or now they want to shred the Constitution.
But when you hear some Democrats saying Trump is acting like an autocrat.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. If you actually compare him to an actual autocrat, that is not just that. Now, last night, for example, people were complaining. They were protesting about, that's the Hitler thing. You just don't ever compare anyone to Hitler and those kinds of extreme things. Now, look what happened to Charlie Kirk. I mean, the man was shot. Now, we have to turn the temperature down. It's like we can't compare people to these kinds of figures in history. And this is not an autocrat. This is a product of a democratic election.
So you don't think that Trump is at all shattering any of the norms of democracy in any way?
I'm saying he's definitely different, but that's what America voted for. Again, I don't agree with many of these things, but that does not make him an autocratic.
But one of the things that I hear from Democrats a lot saying a reason why voters may not like Democrats is because they don't fight hard enough. Democrats should be fighting harder. What do you say to folks who say that?
What exactly is fighting? What is fighting? Delay more votes, or just vote every no on everything, or saying, well, if they're doing X, well, then that means it's wrong, that kind of a thing. It's like, what exactly is fighting?
I'll give you an example. It could be shutting the government down. Like some Democrats say, if this happens, it'll be Trump's fault.
That's not fighting. That's mutilating our nation. If you vote to shut our government down, you are going to harm millions of Americans. And why would you do this? Where's our leverage? It was wrong. It was wrong for the Republicans to do that. Absolutely, that's true. It was wrong for the Republicans to do that. It would just be wrong for us for those things.
Bigger picture, has your party shifted or have you shifted ideologically?
My party is acting in a way they have forgotten. They have forgotten one of the reasons why we lost in 2024. Some of the most extreme things were weaponized against that. And now some people think now we have to double down on those things, or we must become more progressive or more extreme. That's absolutely not true. The 7 or 8 states that are going to determine who's going to be the next president, we have to win in those states. And I understand what that takes. And a lot of these ideas that are now putting back and being reintroduced are not going to carry, Pennsylvania.
Speaking of which,
now I won't play this whole video, but yeah, he's one of the few Democrats that had, kind of think, no problem, Carrie. I'll be looking out for people, everybody needs a little money here and there, But yeah, it's crazy. I've seen Fetterman. He's been voting and trying to open the government back up. And it's one of them things. Again, is like I'm torn in myself. Is like is it really sure enough this charade that everything I think it is, going back and forth, or is it? I kind of think they want the government shut down for a while. They want to clear out a bunch of bullshit. They want to get rid of a bunch of bullshit. It's going to hurt a lot of people. They don't give a fuck. Not whatsoever. Hopefully the communities can help some of these people that they're going to need food. There's going to be a lot of people doing stupid shit because they're ignorant in next month. But, hopefully, maybe there'll be people that can help people that really need it. There's a lot of people that really need it. There's some that, getting food stamps and funding their whole business with it, kind of thing. They're selling food and they're using food stamps to sell their food that they're buying with their food stamps and crazy shit like that. Some of that shit needs to be cut out for sure. But there's a lot of people that need it, that really need it. We need to be able to get to the food to them. And if we don't open the sumbitch back up, they can. Hopefully, I don't know, food banks and churches and stuff might be able to help. Hopefully, somebody can help. I agree, James. Both sides really, to the point. you know, if you're looking at it at a political though, I mean, even CNN's been calling them out on it. Surprisingly, a lot of them, they because it's, um, they could have signed a clean slate and brought everything back going and gave it 3 months or whatever. What they normally do. So whatever reason they have for shut this thing down with everything else going on, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of weird everything going on at one time. There's so many distractions all the way around the world. We got distractions. We got the 3-eye atlas running around. People worried about it freaking being a spaceship and all that, and then you got hurricanes and just and then all the protests and stuff like that, the Antifa protests and the No Kings protests and all that kind of stuff. It's just crazy stuff just to distract us all. What's coming for it all after it all said and done, I don't know. I've had some thoughts and ideas, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. Let me show some tech stuff. Let me shift off the gloom and doom for a little bit. I don't know, B. That's how you feel about it. Come on, thing, work for me. Yeah, I don't want to see any civil war. I did that in my Shiloh video. I talked about that. If you want to listen to that, listen to me what I think about civil war and all that. We can't let and like we were talking about at the beginning of the show, we can't let these son of bitches divide our families and stuff. And because of, we need to bring the families back together and we have differences of opinion. Okay, we got difference of opinion. I've had religious discussions. I can't even talk. Discussions before with Wiccans and self-proclaimed Wiccans and all kinds of people, so, and just all kinds of different religious thought process, Christian, atheists, witches, Muslims. I mean, I've had discussions, I've had, I have fun with the Jehovah's Witnesses when they come up. I try to convert them. That's my goal. I'm gonna get them one day. I'm gonna get them people, but I have fun. But we should be able to have a discussion and disagree without having everything going on. What's up, Kramos, my brother from South America? Check out this robot. Of course, this is version 1. It's going to get better. He's having little troubles here trying to close this dishwasher, though. But look at the body type and everything. It's crazy how close they're getting it. They hit version 3 or 4, and which I did see them talking about. I think I got the video clipped here in just a second. Taking 5 minutes to load a dishwasher. And then I seen this for tech, Grokkopedia. I don't know if y'all have seen Grokkopedia so far, but they're building an absolute Wikipedia. Somebody that can rival Wikipedia and stuff like that. And if you go to their site, I forget what it said. Oh, yeah, there's 885,279 articles already available. And the cool thing is, yeah, I've already looked up, I just look up certain things, just press around. But if you look at Wikipedia for Graham Hancock, they call him a pseudoscientist and stuff like that. They don't say none of that shit right there. It just talks about he investigates anomalies in ancient history and proposes advanced civilization. No negativity on who he was and stuff like that. All right, Krabos, you can email it to me, or you want to pop on? We were talking about the weather earlier with that damn hurricane. So, version 0.1. So maybe that's what they're gonna try to get this. And then I seen them talking about the video talking about with Grok and everything like that. And Elon talking about how far advanced Grok is growing and growing so fast. It's faster than they thought he would. I'm giving it it would. So it's. And I just share this tab. I thought this was pretty cool. I liked them old. I wanted one of them. I was looking for one. I was looking for one of them old refrigerator stuff. I got one that looks like an old refrigerator, but I wanted one of them old refrigerators because they're just damn cool. But the technology they had in the 60s is crazy. And then now we got these smart tech and all that kind of shit, and freaking toasters attacking people and shit. I don't know, but
how is it this 1965 refrigerator has more features than a modern fridge? Check this out.
Start with the most ingenious door in any refrigerator. It has special places for bottles, spreadable butter, cheeses, even leftovers, and a big picture window hydrator for fruits and vegetables. It tilts down to show you your supply at a glance, and it also lifts out, so you can take it over to the sink when there's a fresh supply to be washed and put away. But that's just the door. Think of all you can store in here on these big firm shelves that roll all the way up to you, so you can get at the food and back without moving anything in front. And how about your frozen things? Oh yes, there's a place for them too, in this big food freezer. Even your ice cubes have a special place for storage, right here. And watch how they get there. You just take out a tray, turn it over, and push. You get a shower of ice cubes, all frosty dry and ready to use.
Just the fact that the ice trays self-eject and that you can remove the veggies onto the bench and pull out the trays and see all the food inside the fridge is brilliant. Why do we not have these features today? How is it this...
Good question there. No wine rack. I had to share this post right here. Jay Anderson posted, if alien vehicles appear in the sky and begin attacking us, these are probably the ones that it belonged to one of these fallen Halliburton or Boeing. All right, Kramos, I'll sure check it out. Let me pull that up. And I agree with them. If we got some kind of space Project Bluebeam shit going down, and I still think that's coming with all this 3 ILS bullshit going on, and you got people coming all out of word work out everywhere talking about that shit, talking about all kinds of crazy stuff. Remote viewing the damn thing. It's got, reptilian aliens in it, and I hope I get my volume down for hit that burp. Let me and then play this video here. Nothing to worry about here. Just Palantir and NVIDIA getting together.
This is the single fastest enterprise company in the world. Probably the single most important enterprise stack in the world today. Palantir Ontology. Anybody from Palantir here? I was just talking to Alex earlier. This is Palantir Ontology. They take information, they take data, they take human judgment, and they turn it into business insight. We work with Palantir to accelerate everything Palantir does so that we could do data processing at a much, much larger scale and more speed. Whether it's structured data of the past, and of course we'll have structured data, human recorded data, unstructured data, and process that data for our government, for national security, and for enterprises around the world, process that data at speed of light and to find insight from it. This is what it's going to look like in the future. Palantir is going to integrate NVIDIA so that we could process at the speed of light and at extraordinary scale. Okay, NVIDIA and Palantir.
Yay, nothing to worry about there. Help speed them up. We're all data. We're all data to them. All right. I'm going to play this video. I think it's going to be good. It's going to be all right. I trust Kramos. Oh. My bad.
It's publishing a memo that suggests adopting a different view and changing strategy towards addressing climate change. It is a rebuttal to what he calls, quote, the doomsday scenario, which Gates says is, quote, causing much of the climate community to focus too much on near-term emission goals, and it's diverting resources, he says, from the most effective things we should be doing to improve life in a warming world. He writes, quote, this is a chance to refocus on the metric that should count even more than emissions and temperature change, improving lives. Our chief goal should be to prevent suffering, particularly for those in the toughest conditions who live in the world's poorest countries. Although climate change will hurt poor people more than anyone else, for the vast majority of them, it will not be the only or even the biggest threat to their lives and welfare. The biggest problems are poverty and disease, just as they always have been. Now, I spoke to Bill Gates in an exclusive TV interview, and I asked him to explain what he hopes people take away from this new message.
Climate is a super important problem. There's enough innovation here to avoid super bad outcomes. We won't achieve our best goal, the 1.5 or even the 2 degrees. And as we go about trying to minimize that, we have to frame it in terms of overall human welfare, not just everything should be solely for climate.
How much of your own view is a function of just contextually what's happening in the world versus what I think you've thought for a long time about the climate?
Well, if the aid budgets to poor countries were continuing to go up the way they did over the last 25 years, then the trade-offs between climate action and saving children's lives wouldn't be as acute as it is now that these budgets are going down, and going down quite a bit. And so the plea here is to say, okay, let's take that very limited money and not have some partitioned off for particular causes. Let's measure it all in terms of the human welfare. How do you help those countries?
You were a huge supporter of the Paris Climate Accord at the time. And I wonder now, when you look back, given that you're changing sort of the metric with which you use, do you say to yourself that the Paris Climate Accord and its goals were misplaced?
No, not at all. That was a key milestone because the countries of the world said, hey, this is a mutual problem. The temperature rise, the entire world will experience a temperature rise from the emissions from all these countries. So getting countries to commit was very, very important. The one thing about that accord that turned out not to be realistic was the ambitious goal of staying to 1.5 degrees. We won't be able to do that. Even if you took all the money away from health, you wouldn't be able to do that. So now, the question is, okay, what temperature level are we going to end up at? Very important to minimize that, but not at the expense of everything else.
Okay, but in the context of not at the expense of everything else, so many businesses, companies, including Microsoft, made pledges around being net zero, trying to get, in some cases, negative net zero, meaning going back and paying for their carbon production from earlier. Was that a mistake? Now that you're
not at all.
So that's not the message that you're trying to suggest.
No, not at all.
Okay.
I mean, why have we been able to lower the future emissions? It's because companies like Microsoft and many others focused on this.
2030 again, that magic number. Everything is 2030. And it's amazing. If you just seen that pop up, the red is warming contrails and blue is cooling. And flight trajectory is crazy how much warmth was right over here and everything on the 28th. Of course, you got that hurricane right through there. Little quinkadink, I guess.
This initiative. And it's very important that those companies help advance these new technologies by being the early customers for things like nuclear fission, fusion, clean cement. They're driving the prices down. And that's the magic thing. When you get the clean stuff to be cheaper than the dirty stuff, then you can take that whole area of emissions and saying, okay, just normal market economics works there.
When the climate activists who have been very supportive.
That's not for Uncle Bill. It's crazy. Like I said, we were talking about earlier, I mean, if you want to, and if you're polluting, all you do is get credits and stuff. Yeah, it's fucking bullshit. Sorry about the blank screen there for a second. I thought I had hit the share this tab instead, and I guess I didn't. I do that sometimes. I make mistakes. Let me share this one, Let me share this one. And there's so many distractions and so much insanity going around in the world today. Even think as a critical thinker and a conspiracy theorist. But now you hear, I don't know if y'all heard it or not, the Leviathan is coming out from biblical. And that was the reason I seen another video the other day talking about it, right? There's B-52 bombers over which they really were. There was B-52 bombers over in the Gulf of Mexico, America, however you want to call it. And, some people were looking at they were just, fucking with people. But then there's some people that thought that he was actually bringing out the Leviathan, or, kind of bombing it, trying to wake it up. But I'll play this video.
Yes, this is exactly what we were warned about. Scientists are in shock after discovering signs of a creature larger than an entire continent rising from the ocean depths. Its name, as written in Isaiah 27, Leviathan, the monstrous serpent of chaos foretold to appear on Judgment Day. Aerial photos now show what looks like a colossal head beneath the waves, It's not land, it's moving. And sonar scans taken in May revealed a massive dark shape, hundreds of feet deep, slowly pushing toward the surface. Its size, bigger than the entire state of Texas. Experts fear it could be heading toward the U.S., especially after a sudden crack 6 football fields wide opened in Wyoming without warning. Meanwhile, earthquakes are increasing, whales and marine life keep washing ashore. Lifeless, everything points to one chilling possibility. Leviathan is waking up, or the Bible's doomsday prophet. Yes.
Yeah, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Let's show this was pretty cool. Jay Anderson, the part of the Project Unity, the cave churches down there in Cairo. It's pretty cool. Check this out. Imagine acoustics in that place. Must be breathtaking. I'm sure there's gotta be some video somewhere. It's like. Okay, yeah, I got the volume turned down on the music. I don't know, Wally. I've seen a few people talk about it. I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool right there. Just like this one here is pretty, I think it's pretty cool. I'm gonna get pop with this damn music. I had like 8 different things the other day of just copyright. I think this was built, it actually was painted like in the 1500s, I think, if I remember right. It's pretty amazing stuff in Turkey. Let's see if I got one more. Oh yeah. You would like to have a shopping cart, which basically you can do now with like some stores anyway. But these shopping carts, they got tablets and stuff, so you don't even have to go through line.
Y'all see the new technology is out, right? Y'all see the shit. So you now shopping and shit. You can I think this is the one where you ring up your own shit, like when you put it in the cart. See, look at this shit. What that say? You see what this shit say? It say start shopping. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I think, right? This gonna put the motherfucking cashiers. No more. You ain't gonna need no cashiers. If you could just pay for your shit like this. Continuous guess. Let's see what happened. First time using new cart. Yeah, got me. Let's see what they talking about. Add product. Face it. Yeah, you scan the shit as you put it in the cart. Place it in the cart. Don't hold item, just put it in there. How to add produce.
Things even got a scale on it.
Look, yo, this new technology, man, putting this shit right here, y'all ain't got no business working any damn way. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't got no business working any damn way. You know what I'm saying? Yo, yeah, look, you pay for everything right through the cart, yo. You know what I'm saying? Look, EBT. Look, this is the new wave right here. This is the new technology shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Though you can go like Sam's Club right now and do the same thing. Use your phone and check out and walk right out the damn door. So it's coming all the way across. Damn, that's crazy, Jason. Appreciate you, Mike. Glad you were able to make it on here today. If you're still here when I'm... I was about to get to the feel-good videos, though, Mike, if you're still there. But appreciate you coming on, listening. I appreciate everybody. I showed enough negativity today. Let's go show some good stuff. I don't know, there's some negativity right here. This cat's being mean.
Franklin, you're a jerk. Stop it.
Don't do that.
Hey. What's up?
Stop, you're scaring me. You're scaring me. Bella. Bella.
Hi there.
Uh-oh.
Oh, what a funny guy.
Oh, she's not. Oh, so sorry about that. Oh.
You bastard.
Garlic. Stop. Stop. Oh, shit.
Yeah, he knows that too, Gordon. Yeah, that kitty's butt. Nasty. This next video is something I had never seen in my life. I thought I had to look it up to see if it's even real.
来，先把尿不湿换一下。里边我看都满喽，满喽。来，咬着吧。来，真乖呀，小九，小九是真乖呀。哎，等着啊。 小九怎么这么乖呢？试试，来撅起来吧。哎呀，撅起来。宝儿，来了，拿给我吧。哎呀，谁能有我家小九乖呀？是不是？好嘞，去吧。
You ever seen a parrot with a diaper? All right, Jason, take it easy, man. Appreciate you coming on and listening. Chicken sizes too. That's crazy. I've never seen that before in my life. Got this one here for Halloween.
See my cat? You see my cat? You see my cat? Huh? You see my cat? My cat's gone. My cat's gone.
It's funny how, like, even animals, they do the same thing as humans. Kid gets in trouble, tells mama whoops ass. Night, Raz. Appreciate you being here. And appreciate all y'all popping in here and listening to me. Listen to us ramble and let me blow it up, make it big. Y'all check out the I got it working now. I got the Buy Me a Dr. Pepper on the Buy Me a Coffee. If you click on the link on Buy Me on my link tree, you can see Buy Me a Coffee, and you click on there and it'll say Buy Me a Dr. Pepper. Love how the dog's like talking. Come on, shut the door. Please shut the door. For the love of God, shut the door. I love it. He's like, please. I had to show it twice. I'm probably gonna get dinged on this, but I don't care. If I gotta delete it out later, I'll delete it out later. But old cartoons. Remember seeing this when I was a kid?
Next morning, Ichabod's hat was found. And close beside it, a shattered pumpkin. But there was no trace of the schoolmaster.
Yeah, I'll get that music out there. It's pretty funny though. That kitty's tongue starts moving. He started having a good dream. Dreams come true. Dreams come true for little kitties. Hey, Mr. Willie. Yeah, I thought it was funny. Look at this big old boy. Milk drunk. Yeah, I like showing these videos and stuff. Like, everybody don't have stuff, but even though they don't have much, he got him a cake and he got his kids and his wife. That's all you need. And one more. I don't know. I had to play this video the other day, and hell, my cats didn't do nothing. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Which means, come here.
Mommy, they both came. What the? Oh my god. Ni cagando. Ni cagando. Oh shit.
I mean, what I'm trying to do. Substack. There he is. But I appreciate y'all being here. Let me share our screen real quick. Throw my little merch out here. I don't accept any cookies. Damn cookies. Unless it's with some milk. But yeah, I got a bunch of fun stuff on here. If y'all got cool design I'd like to see me do, I'll sure try to throw it together. I need to make a shirt with my original kitty A.I.P design, but I got hats, coffee mug. I know Tate got a coffee mug. Of course, you've seen Ray with the hat tonight, and so if you get a chance, want to support, I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all, and like I said, then I got the keep using the wrong keyboard. You got to buy a Dr. Pepper. Yay, it's updated. Get out of here. And you got a video on there talking about the adaptive martial arts, what we did talk about last week. So, like I said, if y'all want to support the channel, couple ways of doing it. I appreciate it. So all I do is spend money to do this, but I love doing it. It's one of them things I love. Love bringing stuff out there, bringing people together, and bring connections and growing connections. And I appreciate all y'all keep coming back each week. It's a blessing to me, and hopefully I'm a blessing to y'all. But yeah, check out the links in the description. You can see Ray's links is in the description. I know Sweets has dropped it too. And then we got a bunch of links in the description, so check them out. Email, Discord. Discord's in there if you want to join the Discord. I'm working on trying to grow that. If you want to ease your way, connect and stuff like that. So just trying to grow stuff and make it, keep on keeping on and see what we can do with this. I'm not stopping no time soon, as I've always said. So I appreciate y'all. I get to check out some of the shorts and stuff like that I got on there. I'm trying to push out more and more of them. Trying to get my watch hours on YouTube up so I can get super chats and stuff like that. So we'll see if I can get there. If I can, it is what it is. It ain't the end of the world. I appreciate all y'all keep coming back, and I appreciate the chat and get to talk with y'all every week, and even on this channel and other channels and stuff like that. And I'm thankful I get to hang out with all y'all. So as always, y'all keep on keeping on, and I got the outro so we can talk in the chat what the outro's going on. So I do have the outro. If y'all missed it last week, I'm gonna work on it. It's gonna get better, but I like the song, so I appreciate y'all, and let's hit this let's hit the outro and get out of here.
Don't want no shackles. Don't want no shackles on me. Don't want no shackles. Don't want no shackles on me. I sit down with Big Brother. Don't like those RFIDs. Got the blues about my freedom. Got the blues about tyranny. I got the blues about my freedom. Got the blues about tyranny. I sat down with Big Brother and the national ID. Don't want a chip in my wallet, chip in my car. And if I want to travel, it's nobody's business how far. Don't want no shackles. Don't want no shackles on me. I said shame on Big Brother, always tracking and tracing me. Don't want a chip in my mother, chip in my wife, a chip in my babies. Stay out of our life. Don't want no shackles. Don't want no shackles on me. I sat down with Big Brother. No more slavery. Play it for me, baby. Now, do you want a chip in your forehead, a chip in your arm, always tweaking your brain and causing you harm? Don't want no shackles. Don't want no shackles on me. I sit down with Big Brother in the good old USA. I sat down with Big Brother, down with Big Brother, down with Big Brother, down with Big Brother, down with Big Brother. Don't want a spy chip in me. Everybody. I said down with Big Brother. 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 It's all about liberty.